Rox has 3 new chicken sandwiches for $4.99. They got the golden chicken sandwich, the hot honey mango, and one with the 4 basic food groups: chicken, buffalo, bacon, and ranch.
Righteous!
Rox Local Market. 3 new chicken sandwiches, just $4.99.
Rox has 3 new chicken sandwiches for $4.99. I'm getting the golden chicken sandwich or the buffalo bacon ranch.
Hot honey mango for me.
Dude, you don't have any eyebrows.
Rox Local Market. 3 new chicken sandwiches, just $4.99.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
This is Cody with Cody's Auto Body. The stories are on the way. Reliving glory days, the injury that prevented stardom, or the inevitable, I even could have made that play. With football season comes a lot of delusion of greatness. Well, no one believes you would have made it in the big leagues. Let's at least make them think you're a good driver. Bring that vehicle to me and I will make it the pride of the parking lot at every game. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body, the MVP of your season. That's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football featuring the Shepherd Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's coverage is brought to you by
Orsini's Home Store, Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Cody's Auto Body, The Palace Lounge, CMA Honda, the Berkeley County Health Department, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations, Hagerstown Ford, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, W. Harley Miller Systems, Smallwood and Small Insurance Agency, CMA Chrysler Dodge, WVU East, the law firm of Burke Schultz Harmon and Jenkinson, RAI Properties, Parsons Ford, Rox, John Hardy, Gary Kelly Allstate, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
Standing by is our TV 10 broadcast team, so let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
We welcome you in here to the studios as we get ready for Shepherd Rams football. The Rams taking on the Kutztown Golden Bears. Shepherd comes into this matchup 5-2. Kutztown undefeated and a top 5 team in the country at 7-0. The two teams have had a great all-time series, with the away team always winning in the 5 games so far. Shepherd has picked up 2 wins. Kutztown has picked up 3. Last season, though, it was a 23 win for the Golden Bears. Historically, a very close rivalry, with wins of 42-35 for Shepherd in their last time here at Kutztown. Of course, the playoff win of 30-28, a 37-29 loss for Shepherd in its second matchup against the Golden Bears in Shepherdstown. And in their first ever matchup, it was a 34-27 win for Kutztown. So it's been traditionally a very close rivalry, but a rare occurrence today as Shepherd comes into this game as an underdog against a PSAC East opponent. Travis, it should be a fun game anytime these two teams get together. It's 2 of the best in the PSAC East. It's 2 of the best in the conference, and usually 2 of the best teams in the entire region for Division II. So this is a fun matchup, but obviously it feels like on paper a big task for Shepherd, especially with their last road trip not going their way against Westchester.
And Shepherd is having some... oh, you got me? There we go. All right.
Apparently, I thought I heard you earlier on that one, but I apparently had it wrong. But go ahead.
But looking back to last year's matchup between Shepherd and Kutztown, weather played a great deal in that game. It was rainy, it was cold, and it really just kind of affected the gameplay, and that really played in favor of the Kutztown Golden Bears. They had that physical grinding type of run game, and they were really able to rely on that, and that pretty much carried the day, and the defense also played outstanding. You're looking at this year's matchup, again, that Kutztown defense has been airtight. They're coming in only allowing just over 7 points per game, so it's going to be critical for Shepherd, one, not to make mistakes. Kutztown's going to be good enough where they're going to make you pay for those kind of mistakes, and it's going to be something where Shepherd's going to need their special team to come up with some big plays. So the guys today that are really going to need to step up for the Shepherd Rams is going to be Miles Greer and Cam Dorner. Those guys have supplied some big plays, not only on offense for Cam Dorner, but also in special teams. I think that's going to be necessary today because I think it's going to be something where, one, Shepherd's going to need that momentum on the road, and more importantly, they're going to need some points. They're going to need to find some type of other avenue to score some points to stay into this game, because not only is Kutztown's defense really tough, their offense is really hitting their stride this year with the emergence of a passing game under their awesome quarterback, Judd Novak. The redshirt sophomore was all PSAC East, second team last year, was also freshman of the year for the PSAC East, and he is really coming to his own this year, really taking command of that offense. So in order to keep up with this Kutztown's team, Shepherd University, they're really going to have to put some points on the board today to have a chance to compete.
All right, we'll take our first break here on the pregame show. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from Shepherd Rams head football coach Ernie McCook. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Our coaches' interviews are brought to you by Parsons Ford, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or online at parsonsford.com. They became #1 by making you #1 first, Parsons. Here's Shepherd Rams head coach Ernie McCook. Coach, game you got down 14-0 early on, and you faced some adversity, and you bounced back from that to go on a 35-7 run afterwards. So what did you think about your team's performance and facing that adversity?
Well, I was really proud of how we hung together, even being down 14-0. Everybody kind of rallied. I think it showed what kind of grit our football team has. As we continue to grow as a team, even deep into the season like this, we have room to get better and make improvements. And I think that showed on Saturday. And I thought there was no panic. We just took it one play at a time and handled each situation. And I thought the way our defense was able, even after taking a couple body blows early, to rebound and just play 3 really solid quarters of football. I thought offensively I was really proud with how we were able to make adjustments and make plays on the ground and in the air, obviously to Cam and stuff like that. But it was overall a great performance.
And really what kind of sparked you was a big punt from Ryan Barrick to put your defense in a good position, and then you're able to score on the next offensive drive. Just Ryan gets another Special Teams Athlete of the Week award as well.
Yeah, well, it's well-deserved. And I think when we talked about him in the preseason, we knew he would be a weapon for us. Anytime you can help control the field position, and Ryan is great at that and does a lot of great things for us and is definitely a very key to our success.
And a big play for you all year has been that play-action post to Cam Dorner. What do you think's kind of set that up, and who do you credit that to? Is it Lex with the play-action or just a little bit of everything?
I think it's the fact that we are committed to running the football. We have 3 great running backs with Malachi, Jordan, and Grant. We'll get in run sets, we'll run, and if we feel they're really crowding down on top of us, we will take a shot over the top. And Cam has proven that he's a very dynamic receiver.
And for Leck, too, bouncing back from 4 interceptions to 3 touchdowns. What does that say about him as a quarterback this year?
Yeah, Leck he's a guy who really cares, wants to be very successful, and he works hard. And I thought he did a great job taking care of the football, and I thought he made some really nice throws.
Defensively, what kind of stood out to you after a slow start for them?
Well, I thought the way we were able to get after their quarterback and stop the run and make them one-dimensional. They had a nice plan. They're a well-coached football team. They're a young football team. And I thought the way our defense handled the things that were thrown at them that were different to make the adjustments and then play so well in the second, third, and fourth quarter.
Kutztown this week, always a big game, always a tough one. What are you looking forward to about this matchup?
Well, it's the number 5 team ranked, 5th ranked team in the country, man. They're a top 5 football team. It's well deserved. They're played great in all 3 phases. They're well coached. They got really good players who play hard. They play smart with great effort and energy. They make themselves a hard team to beat. We're going to have to really execute at a high level. We're going to have to make the ordinary play extraordinary, and we're going to have to play the entire 60 minutes. And hopefully at the end we'll find a way to win.
And then what's it like going into this one being an underdog? It's a rare opportunity, I guess, for your team in some ways.
Yeah, we're going up there. I don't know. They were the top 5 college football team in the nation. We're going up there for their homecoming. I imagine it's going to be a beautiful day. It's always a great environment up there in Kutztown. They have a great stadium. I think they have tremendous fan support. And it's going to be like playing in Ram Stadium, but on the road.
Our coaches' interviews are brought to you by Parsons Ford, located 1400 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first, Parsons.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
WVU Medicine is pleased to introduce 6 new providers who've joined University Health Associates East and our medical staffs at Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center. Certified Nurse Midwife Sabrina Austin, OBGYN. Physician Assistant Samantha Barbado, Ear, Nose, and Throat. Dr. Francesca Baruffi, Emergency Medicine. Nurse Practitioner Stephanie Bruno, Pain Management. Physician Assistant Charles Chapman, Thoracic Surgery, and Doctor of Nursing Practice Cassie Saya, Pulmonary Critical Care. Welcome to WVU Medicine.
We welcome you back here in the studio as we get you set here for Shepherd versus Kutztown in a PSAC matchup. Shepherd coming off of the win last week against Millersville, where the Rams found themselves down 14-0 early, but would outscore Millersville the rest of the game 35-7. So we started to see the team that we thought we would see from Kickoff last week in that game. And Travis, coming off of that loss to Westchester, a tough one against Lockhaven that got close in the second half. Shepherd found their footing a little bit last week and did some good things, even though the final score appears a little bit closer than maybe the game actually was at 35-21.
And again, Millersville had opportunities to really take a commanding lead. There were a couple of plays that would have certainly gone for big plays, if not for touchdowns, and it probably would have put Shepherd in a hole that was too deep to climb out of. But again, even that 14-point deficit really put a lot of pressure on that Shepherd unit. And like Coach McCook said, that's what you really want to see, and that's something I've always liked about Coach McCook, is that how he praises his guys, the way that they face adversity. Of course, you would like to go through a football season unscathed and have a perfect record. Sure, everybody would, but chances are you're going to go up against some teams or have some things that go against you, and the question is going to be is how your team is going to be able to handle that adversity. So again, Shepherd has faced that adversity. Again, they haven't been against high caliber opponents, but again, you can only win the game that you're in. You got to coach the game that you're in. So Shepherd to be able to rally back from being 14 points down and having a Millersville team that had a lot of momentum on their side, that says a lot for Shepherd that they have that type of mental toughness where they can go out there and battle back. But again, coming into today's game, I think it's going to be a different animal. I don't think that they can afford to have a slow start like that versus Kutztown, because Kutztown's going to have the talent to maintain that momentum and keep the lead if they're able to jump out early on. So I think it's going to be critical for Shepherd to get out there and have a fast start themselves to try to put the pressure on Kutztown and maybe put them back on their heels a little bit in today's contest.
Another thing that's interesting about the matchup here today, Travis, is both of these defenses have forced two shutouts this season. However, Kutztown has had overall probably the better defensive year, especially the last few weeks. A 42-10 win over Bloomsburg, a 24-0 win over Lockhaven, a 31-2 win last week against Shippensburg. Their other shutout coming earlier in the season against Edinburgh, 26-0. Assumption they beat 24-6. They've only had really one close game, and that came on September 28th on the road at East Stroudsburg, which was a 27-21 win for the Golden Bears. So 21 points is the most points this defense has allowed all season. It's clearly still a strength of the Kutztown team, even though the offense has grown under second-year quarterback Judd Novak.
And again, they're a disciplined football team. They're not flashy, but what they're going to do is that they're going to make you pay for mistakes. So again, if Kutztown's going to put up a lot of points today, it's going to be tough for Shepherd to overcome that. Like we said, both defenses kind of started out on the same footing this year, where Shepherd had a red-hot defense. They were only giving up only a touchdown per game at a certain point in the season, where Kutztown is still only giving up just over a touchdown so far this season. But Shepherd, I think their defensive backs, they're going to have to get their mojo back this week. They're going up against a couple really good wide receivers versus Kutztown and Mekhi Gibson and Curtis Ravenel Jr. They're going to have their hands full with those two, but I think Shepherd has the talent on the back end where they can match up favorably with those guys. Probably one of the better matchups that Kutztown's going to face in terms of going up against an opposing secondary. So those guys are really going to have to get back into the game, not only to try to slow down those wide receivers, but to give that defensive front a little bit of extra time to get in the backfield and get after Novak. That's something that's those two positions really kind of complement each other, because if you have good coverage on the back end, that's going to allow those blitzes to get home, and I think that's going to be critical for Shepherd to get the win today. They're going to have to get after the quarterback, and that's when you increase the chance of trying to produce some type of turnover on the defensive side of the ball. I think that's going to be important for Shepherd today as well.
All right, we'll take another 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from Shepherd wide receiver Cameron Dorner, as well as punter Ryan Barrick. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
This is Cody with Cody's Auto Body. The stories are on the way. Reliving glory days, the injury that prevented stardom, or the inevitable, I even could have made that play. With football season comes a lot of delusion of greatness. Well, no one believes you would have made it in the big leagues. Let's at least make them think you're a good driver. Bring that vehicle to me and I will make it the pride of the parking lot at every game. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body, the MVP of your season. That's Cody's with a T for trust.
Drive More Days is back at Carter Myers Automotive, and this year we'll keep you rolling with a $1,000 gas card. Visit any of our locations to take a test drive, and we'll enter you into a drawing to win a $1,000 gas card. With that kind of money, fill up at the pump for the rest of the year, completely on us. Stop in during Drive More Days for your chance to win a $1,000 gas card, only at Carter Myers Automotive. Owners just care more.
I'm John Doyle, and I'm running for the state Senate in the 16th Senatorial District. I stand strongly for your right to repair any product you purchase. Presently, manufacturers are permitted to retain as proprietary information that is necessary to repair that product. And I think that's wrong. I think you should be guaranteed that information so you can repair it yourself or take it to your friendly neighborhood repair person. I ask for your vote on November 5th, authorized by Doyle for the Eastern Panhandle, Alan Stern, Treasurer.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Our player interviews are brought to you by the Murias Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue or call 304-263-4343. Here's Shepherd Rams wide receiver Cam Dorner. Cam, good game for you on Saturday, 2 touchdowns. Hit that post route again for a big touchdown. Just another big play, and then you finally caught a touchdown that wasn't a huge play, a short one for you. But 8 catches in the game as well, over 100 yards. Just what was clicking for you on Saturday?
I thought the game plan going into this week was good. We had a lot of game plan. We had a good game plan to get a lot of guys open, like me and Jeremiah Taylor. He was also open on a few comebacks, also a few post routes that he didn't get the ball targeted towards. So I felt like confident we were going into this game. We had a good week of preparation. So having that timing with Leck, quarterback, obviously helped in practice, so we practiced that.
And coming off a game where you guys have 4 interceptions, not your best performance to what you had last week, which was overall pretty good and a big step in the right direction. Just talk about some of the adversity that you faced, also being down 14-0 in that game and able to bounce back from that.
Yeah, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. Coach harped on playing, 4 complete quarters, and that's what we have to do. It doesn't matter if, we let off our foot off the gas in the first quarter. We have to come back in the second quarter a lot harder and, play the third, finish through the fourth, and stuff like that. So going through that adversity, last week, having 4 interceptions, we came in this week having the focus of just not turning over the ball and just not making as many mistakes and, mental errors, and, we came out on top, and that's why.
You made a few big catches in the game, that even some that weren't touchdowns, to kind of give your team a spark early in the game. So how big has that been for you this year to try to be a big player for this team?
Yeah, I try my best to, be a big player on this team, be a contributor to this team. Definitely, it definitely starts in practice, having that practice with Leck and the quarterback and creating that timing and, 1,000 routes on the air, 100 routes on air each day where we're going out, sprinting 50 yards just to catch posts, things like that, working on it in practice. And it's definitely, I'm definitely a product of good quarterback play and good schemes. My coaches definitely have me run good routes, so and I'm open a lot because of the schemes we're running. So that's a credit to that.
Kutztown this week. What are you seeing from their defense?
Obviously, their defense is very good. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that statistically one of the better teams in the country. So we're gonna go out. Our plan is, not if we don't turn the ball over. I feel like we have the guys in this room to, make a lot of plays and score.
Here's Shepherd Rams punter Ryan Barrick. Ryan, I guess we'll just start with your background. How'd you start punting?
I played soccer throughout elementary, middle school. But my older brothers played football in high school, so I decided, I wasn't great at soccer, but I always had a big leg, so I decided to transition to football, and the rest was history, I guess.
Your second Special Teams Athlete of the Week award this season. I guess, what's that meant to you?
It means a lot. I'm proud to be able to contribute to the team in that way. My first 3 years, I felt like I should have been able to get a couple of those under my belt, but for whatever reason, I couldn't. But this year, Braden long snap and Coach Wright scheming a lot of good stuff up on punt, finally was able to contribute enough to get one of those. So I'm proud of it, for sure.
All of your punts last week inside the 20-yard line. Just, I guess, take us through your approach and how you're able to do that.
When I have the opportunity to flip the field, I just know I got to make the play and make a good punt, and I know the guys will get down there. I know Braden's going to have a good snap. I know the gunners are going to get down there, so that's all that's going through my mind is just hit a good ball, and the other guys will do the rest.
How much does it help as well that you play for a team that values special teams so much, and you'll see guys like Jeremiah Taylor as a gunner, and just everybody has to contribute to special teams? Yeah, it means a lot, and I think I've seen a lot of growth in my time here. When I was a freshman, we didn't even have a long snapper. We had our tight end doing it, and he did a good job, but we've definitely advanced, and we've got a lot of good focus on the special teams side of the ball, and I think that's helped a lot in some of the closer games. And it's an underrated part of the game, what you do. Take us through, I guess, the typical week for the special teams and how they prepare for each game and how it's maybe a little bit different from offense and defense. Yeah, it's the first thing we look at after the game on Saturday. When we come back on Sunday, we're looking at the film. We're breaking down what we did wrong, what we did right, what we're going to get better at next week. We start preparing right away, looking at what the other looks the other teams are going to give us, and see what we can do to take advantage of those looks. Through practice, they're out there right now talking about kickoff, getting ready for the looks that Kutztown's going to give us, which we're going to need a big game from special teams for sure. What are some goals, I guess, for this week's game against Kutztown? We got to have some good field position for sure. We know Kutztown's a good team, well coached. We're going to have to be in some good positions defensively and have some short fields for the offense to work with to have the ability to win. So it'll definitely be important this week. Our player interviews are brought to you by the Murias Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue or call 304-263-4343.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my parents. Dad, come over. The brisket's done.
The Traeger Connected Experience. Everything you need for epic flavor, and then some.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
The following is from an actual phone call.
Hello there. I'm a volunteer with End of Life Choices, and you knew a gentleman, Edward, who was coming out to use Oregon's Death with Dignity law. I actually worked with him, and he wanted me to reach out to you once he died to let you know that he did pass yesterday. So I did want to get that message to you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Let's not let this happen in West Virginia. Vote to permanently ban medically assisted suicide. Vote for Amendment 1.
All right, we're just about ready for kickoff between Kutztown and Shepherd. Our pregame show is brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit whmsystems.com. It's set here for this opening kickoff between Shepherd and Kutztown. Shepherd coming in at 5-2. Kutztown undefeated, 7-0 on the year, and the number 4 team in the coaches poll. Should be a good matchup. Looks like a beautiful day in Kutztown, Pennsylvania, between these two teams. The Golden Bears will kick to the Rams. Shepherd will get the ball first here to begin this contest. Our opening kickoff is brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, Promote, Protect, offering public, clinical, and environmental services at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Travis, as we get into our kickoff, let's get your keys to the game, brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere.
All right, well, first, looking at Kutztown, they're going to need to eliminate turnovers. Last week, they had 2 interceptions and a safety. I think that's really going to be the only way for Shepherd to have a shot at today's game, is that they're going to need to be able to force some turnovers to get an extra possession. Also for Kutztown, the defense needs to be a bully today. They need to push Shepherd around and pressure the quarterback. They've had 19 sacks so far this season, only allowing 7 points per game. That's going to be huge if they're able to impose their will on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, we got a big return for Shepherd. And that's something that's going to be key for Shepherd today. I think special teams is really going to have to show up for Shepherd today. That's something that has been outstanding for Shepherd over the past couple of seasons, but I think it's going to be something where they absolutely need it today. In games past and years past, it's always been a luxury to have that quality special teams play. I think today it's going to be a necessity. Looking back over at Kutztown, I think if you get Judd Novak into a rhythm early, it's going to be important. The Rams, that defensive front, they've done a good job of getting after the quarterback as well. They have 17 sacks coming into today's game. And I think Kutztown, they're going to have to stick with the run. They didn't do too hot last week versus Shippensburg. They only rushed for 50 yards on 1.8 yards per carry. I think they're going to need that because today time of possession is going to be critical.
Swinehart takes that first carry for about a yard or 2 for Shepherd. Bring up a second down here for the Rams.
And looking more at Shepherd as far as their keys for today, they have to take care of the ball. They've had issues as far as fumbles. They've had issues as far as interceptions. They can't afford that today against an opponent like Kutztown. The defense, in particular, the DBs are really going to have to step up today for Shepherd. One, slow down that awesome passing attack, but also allow that defensive front to get some pressure on the quarterback. And also, Shepherd, they're going to need to be able to make some plays on the ground. I think time of possession is going to be huge today. So if Shepherd is able to run the ball, we know that sets up play-action pass for Lek Powell. He's very good at hitting that deep post. And if you're able to run the ball well, that's really going to make Kutztown have to adjust things on the back end of that defense to try to take care of that run. And again, if you're able to run the ball, eat up a lot of clock, it's going to keep that powerful Kutztown offense off the field.
So here we go. First down and 10 for the Rams after the first down earlier, and they complete a pass underneath. Across midfield goes Shepherd. That's Malachi Brown out of the backfield. We'll bring up a second down for the Rams. So just about 13 minutes to go in this first quarter. Shepherd on its opening drive. Powell adjusting things at the line of scrimmage. Like takes the snap, turns around, and hands it to Malachi Brown, who doesn't find much room on a second down and 1, and he should be short of the sticks to bring up third down.
And a stout defensive front that time by Kutztown, not giving up a lot of space. But again, a smart play on second and short. Again, you have access to your whole playbook on a play like that. But again, you want to have it conservative. You want to establish that run because you want to try to wear these guys down. And no better way than to do that than to stick with the run early on in the game, because those 2 and 3 yard gains are going to turn into 5 and 6 yard gains, hopefully in the second half. If you're able to really work the body in the first half of the game, it's really going to start to pay dividends down the stretch.
3rd down and 1. Brown remains the back to the right of Powell, and will hand it off to Malachi, and Malachi's going to fight forward and then be shoved back by that Kutztown D-line. It looked like big number 95, one of the leaders of this defense, Freddie Redder, was the first man there, 3.5 sacks, and now 8.5 tackles for a loss on the year for Redder. So he's been good in that middle, and now on 4th down, Shepherd lining up to go for it. Powell under center. We'll look toward that sideline for 4th and inches for Shepherd, and now it looks like the Rams will just burn a timeout and most likely punt.
Try to draw Kutztown offsides with a lot of motions and shifts on that play. Good job for Shepherd not drawing the offensive penalty. You have that many moving pieces, there could be a tendency for a penalty to be called on that play if you're not careful about it. So Shepherd avoids the penalty as well as Kutztown. So a little gamesmanship here early on. Shepherd are able to move the ball a little bit here early on, but now they're going to have a chance to, one, unleash their outstanding punter and see if he can help Shepherd take the early advantage as far as field position is concerned.
Yeah, looks like the Rams will bring out Ryan Barrick to punt it, who we just heard from in our pregame show. And Barrick, a former soccer star back in the days, and decided to play football. I guess I should say not so much a soccer star because he decided to give up soccer for football in high school, but former soccer player. And Barrick, pretty tall, lanky punter, but he's been a weapon really ever since he got to Shepherd. But surprisingly, his first 2 special teams athletes of the week of his career coming this season as Barrick boots one into the air. He had 4 punts inside the 20 and give him another one to start this week as Kutztown's going to field it inside the 5-yard line. Surprised they didn't let that one bounce.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He was surrounded by a lot of Shepherd players. Maybe he just didn't want to risk it having a funny bounce and hitting him. But, yeah, not sure why he decided to field that one. But, again, Bear comes out and just does an awesome job. So now that's 17 punts inside the 20 so far this year. So, again, not too often that you can look at your punter as a weapon, but Barrett certainly fits the description, the way he's been able to really give that defense excellent field position when he punts the ball inside the 20.
So we'll see that Kutztown offense for the first time here today, led by quarterback Judd Novak in his redshirt sophomore season. In the backfield, it's Jaden Stort, and Novak looking to throw deep down the near sideline and incomplete. Clayton Batten was the corner in coverage. Pass intended for Gibson.
And again, a lot of talent on the back end for this Shepherd defense, and they went after Batten early on, and he was up to the challenge. And again, this Rams defense just hoping that he gets back to his form back in 2022 when he was all PSAC East first team. You know, he'll have a talented player on the outside, and they're certainly going to need him today.
Here's the run off the right side for Stort. Stort trying to get to the outside, and Shepherd pushes him out of bounds at around the 20-yard line.
That time, a good run, a patient run. It looked like Shepherd was doing a good job of stringing that out. But one of the things when you stretch a defense from sideline to sideline, it's going to create lanes. So if that running back is patient and has good vision, he's going to be able to pick up some type of yards on that play. Hats off to that Golden Bears running back. He was able to do that. He pushed it all the way to the sidelines before he was able to put his foot in the turf and get north and south. But looked like there may have been a penalty on the play because everybody's backing back up to the goal line.
If there was a flag on the play, so that will back up Kutztown after the penalty, after it looked like a nice run for the Golden Bears.
And again, that's the risk that you run when you run outside, because you're having to do a lot of work right in front of the referees. Like, you really have no place to hide when you're out there on the edge, and you just have a tendency to get more holding penalties the more you run outside.
So here we go. 3rd down for Kutztown. They'll hand it off. I believe it should be still 2nd down, though. Should go back to 2nd down on the penalty. So I think that's a mistype by Kutztown scoreboard, unless I'm mistaken. But
well, the sticks on the field had it second down, so
yeah, so it should now be third down.
And again, Shepherd special teams already making their presence felt. They had a good kick return to start the game, giving the offense some good field position. And then the punter, Ryan Bear, goes out there and pins them deep. Let's see if this Rams defense is able to get off the field on third down.
So third down here for the Golden Bears. They'll look to throw. Pass is complete underneath, but it's going to be tackled well short of the first down. So Kutztown will be forced to punt from about the 11-yard line. And Shepherd will get the ball back here with 9:50 to go in this first quarter and a rolling clock. After the Rams drove the ball into Kutztown territory, we're forced to punt. But the defense comes up big here to get the stop.
And Harrison just doing a good job. He's one of the bigger defensive backs, and we've talked about that all year long, how those Shepherd DBs, very physical, very good tacklers in their own right. So I'm not sure why the wide receiver would run short of the sticks, because you really can't bank on getting that run after catch versus this Shepherd secondary.
So after the punt, Shepherd will have good field position here once again, as it was fair caught at the 45-yard line by Miles Greer. Rams will take over with 9:17 to go in this first half.
So we knew it was going to be a nip and tuck type of game coming into today's contest, and right now that's holding to form. Shepherd getting the benefit of some excellent field position. Let's see if they're able to capitalize on it.
So first down and 10, like Powell in the offense. Malachi Brown is the back to the left of Powell. And Powell will sling it out to Brown, and it's caught. He'll pick up about 4 on the play. Depending on where they spot him, actually looks like maybe just a gain of 2 as he stepped out of bounds at the 47-yard line. So bring up a second down and 8 here for Shepherd.
And you see Shepherd, the offense, that they're focused on getting those easy plays on first down, just trying to get some type of positive yards to avoid those 2nd and 10 and third and long situations.
Well, Brown will get it out to about midfield on that carry. So Shepherd will have a third and about 5. Give him 3rd and 6 from the 49-yard line.
And again, short, high percentage plays on first and second down. Now you're setting up third and manageable. Well, you still have that option where you could run if you feel like you have something there. But again, you're not going to have to try to chuck it way down the field because you don't have that far to go if you decide to pass.
Powell finds his guy over the middle, and Barry Hill, I believe, there for the first down, as he caught it right at the sticks. Barry Hill, the senior wide receiver, a transfer coming in last season for Shepherd. Big part of this offense in the slot. It's been really just Hill and Cam Dorner who Shepherd's relied on for the most part. Here's a run up the middle. A nice job by the back there. I think that's Jordan Barnett in on that carry with the hesitation, and then he pushes his way forward as he found the hole in the Kutztown defense.
And Shepherd, not being shy about it, they're running not even in the tackle box, they're running in between the guards at this point. They feel like they have the favorable matchup on the inside with that big, experienced offensive line, and they've had to deal with some injuries so far this season, but they've done a good job of next man up and going in and contributing.
Here's a swing pass out to the far side for Malachi Brown, and Brown's going to pick up the first down. Excuse me, that's Barnett. Not usually a play they run for him. Or no, it was
Dorner.
Dorner, okay. It looked like a running back almost to me, but...
And you talked about how Barry Hill and Dorner have really stepped up in past weeks. I got to say, Jeremiah Taylor, he had 2 catches last week versus Millersville for 32 yards. And I think he's beginning to emerge from that slump that he was in. Again, only 2 catches, but I like the catches that he had. One was the deep crosser over the middle of the field, and then he had that one comeback catch where he had the defender draped all over him. He was able to make that catch. So, again, making some plays, and if they can get all 3 of those guys rolling, it's really going to help out that Shepherd offense.
Pass complete underneath to Dorner, but Dorner this time finds no room. Good job by that Kutztown defense to fly the football. Leading the charge for the Golden Bears was C.J. Brown, who has made some big plays in this rivalry over the years. They're on the outside, so Brown able to make that tackle, grad student.
Brown coming off of a solid performance last week where he had 4 tackles, 3 of those solo. He also had an interception and a pass breakup. So he's a defender that can make his presence felt in the passing game as well as coming up and helping out on the run. Well, those quick screens are essentially just an extension of the run game.
The run up the middle finds little to no room against this Kutztown Golden Bear defense. As that time you had Fisher and a fullback leading the way, but Kutztown was still there to fill that hole. We'll take Redder again in on that tackle. We'll bring up a 3rd down and 11 for Shepherd, as they haven't been able to really pick up too much on this set of downs. Mike Powell yelling out things to his wide receivers. And Powell takes the snap, has some time, a blitz coming in off the edge, and now he just is forced to throw it away. Now bring up a 4th down, and now a decision for Shepherd as Keith Baker missed a 26-yarder last week. So this would be a longer field goal. Not sure his exact range, but it's also a 4th and 11, so it's a tough situation.
And that was tough. Like you mentioned, that pressure coming in off the edge. Malachi Brown had the blocking assignment on that play, whiffed on the defender, and that put pressure immediately in Powell's face, and it looks like Shepherd's going to keep the offense out there on the field. Again, they have good field position, but not an easy task going for a 4th and long versus this defense.
Powell looking to throw here on 4th down, finds his man Barry Hill underneath, but I don't think Hill got there as he was tackled short of the sticks. It's a turnover on downs. Eden Johnson, the Golden Bears leader in tackles, was the last man there to clean things up as that defense flying to the football looked like, I believe, C.J. Brown was the first man there for Kutztown. So they get off the field, forced a turnover on downs, and the Golden Bears will have it for their 2nd time here today from their own 22-yard line.
And you mentioned Eden Johnson, a very active defender. 33 tackles this year, 16 of those solo, 3 tackles for loss, 1 interception, and 3 pass breakups. And again, a lot of pressure on Barry Hill to try to make something happen after the catch, but Eden Johnson was there to bring him down short of the sticks.
So Novak landed off to his back, and Shepherd that time all over it. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. Rams defense flying to the football as they are known for. With Doug Komayau really set that edge, forced it to his help from his other defenders to make that tackle. Brings up a 2nd down after a gain of about 3 actually on the play, so about a 2nd and 7 here for Kutztown.
Again, Kutztown, they did have 2 touchdowns rushing last week, but only averaging 1.8 yards per carry. Again, we've seen that offensive attack, the more the passing offense has emerged this year for the Golden Bears, not so much that physical run game that they've relied on in years past.
Novak scrambling and looking to find some room, does get a few yards on that play, tackled
Brody
though
Carroll
short of the 1st down, and will bring up a 3rd down for the Golden Bears. Yep, Brody Carroll there in space. Had a nice game last week. I think he only technically had about 4 tackles, but had some big plays that helped out this Shepherd defense against Millersville as we get ready for this 3rd down.
It made a lot of plays in the backfield. Had 2 tackles for a loss, including a sack. So Carroll just doing a good job of sifting his way through the traffic and able to bring down that ball carrier.
So get ready here for 3rd down for Kutztown. See if they can extend this drive, or can the Shepherd defense get off the field. Just under 4 minutes left. It's a QB draw with Novak, and he's going to get the 1st down as he's across the 35-yard line before he's brought down on the play by, I believe, O'Neal. I'm sorry. Yes, Harold O'Neal making that diving tackle.
And Novak not shy about carrying the ball coming into today's game. 45 carries for 246 yards. He's averaging 5.5 yards per carry. Also has a touchdown rushing. So we have seen that Shepherd has struggled with mobile quarterbacks. Most defenses tend to struggle with mobile quarterbacks, and Shepherd is no different. Again, having those difficulties during Westchester, but again, a very much different athlete at the quarterback position for Westchester in Cooper Jordan.
Novak this time fires it over the middle, and a big hit at the 45-yard line, but Kutztown holds on to the ball. That was a type of hit you don't see anymore at this level, as flying in was Gio D. Tolbert. Give credit, though, to the wide receiver, Preston, for hanging on to that football as he was blown up at midfield. So Gio D. Tolbert laying the boom here. But it's a first down for Kutztown either way, and now a big pass on the near sideline is hauled in. Couldn't tell who the receiver was. I think it was Gibson, though. Makai Gibson hauls it in for another big play, and Kutztown driving into Shepherd territory here to the 35-yard line, and Novak wants to go quickly.
That was something you could certainly see that they saw some things that they liked in that Millersville game tape, where Millersville went with tempo and really got some favorable matchups last week versus that Shepherd defense.
Just about 2:10 left in this first quarter. Novak rolling to the right, looking to make a big play down the field. Throws and incomplete. Just trying to hit that comeback route.
Looks like he was going to his tight end. That might have been Tyreek Husser, the big tight end, 6'4", 240-pound senior.
Hard to exactly tell from our view here of the KUTV broadcast. Unfortunately, again, we're still having an equipment issue from last night, so we were unable to make the trip even though we were supposed to. And now we're just doing what we can to still bring you the game on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube, so we appreciate you tuning in and bearing with us here today. As Kutztown will run the ball and get a solid run there by Burkhart.
And Burkhart, they like bringing him in. He's more of their short yardage thumper, already having 5 total touchdowns, 4 of those coming on the ground, so he is a dual threat. Also has 8 catches out of the backfield for 32 yards and a touchdown. So 5 total touchdowns among the team leaders as far as scoring so far this year for this Golden Bears offense.
Minute 40 to go in this first quarter, and Kutztown driving down the field against the Shepherd defense just outside the red zone to the 26-yard line. Power formation on the field. Burkhart remains the back. And there's a lot of fullbacks and tight ends out there for the Golden Bears. So showing run, we'll see if they throw some play action in, but they do actually end up running it.
There you go. Miles Greer among the many defenders that was in on that. And again, you talked about that heavy formation. Not too often you see that nowadays. That was more 13 personnel where you got 1 running back, 3 tight ends. We saw a lot of that last week with Millersville. That's when they put Footman in the game because he's more of that mobile athletic style of quarterback. And again, you can see where they're getting their plays from. They're certainly reading their scouting reports and watching film because they saw some things that Millersville was able to do that they feel that they're going to be able to replicate this week with their talent.
Down, they hand it off to the fullback, and he gets there, I believe. Miles Greer saying it should be a turnover on downs, but I think the big fullback was able to get that yard that Kutztown needed. Greer did a great job coming off the edge and making the tackle, but the Golden Bears do move it forward.
And a little bit of trickeration that time by the Golden Bears. A lot of times when you see the quarterback coming up quickly to get under center, a lot of times it's just going for a quarterback sneak, but the fact that he came up like that quickly, hands it off to the fullback, he was able to get a little bit of a lane off of the left side. And again, Greer coming in doing the best that he can, but that's a tough matchup going up against a much bigger fullback out there on the edge, and still only giving up a short gain on that play, but it was enough to move the sticks.
To be Maxwell in there on the carry for Kutztown. So it's a first down for the Golden Bears. And now it appears that we will have either a timeout or some sort of stoppage of play. I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't really look like a timeout since the teams aren't going to the sidelines, or at least now we have a flag on the play. Okay. But it's like a stoppage here for the flag, so it's a little bit strange. A meeting between the official.
I would say we have seen that this year. That
Kutztown.
The PSAC officials are quite a chatty group this year.
All right, I think Kutztown saying that they got the timeout before the flag, so we'll take a 30-second break. And on the other side of this break, we'll have more Shepherd Rams football here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
We welcome you back here. Shepherd, Kutztown going at it. About 9 seconds to go before the end of this first quarter between the Golden Bears of Kutztown and the Shepherd University Rams. Still no score between these two teams. Our first quarter brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg. Your total insurance solution at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard, as well as Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to fordofhagerstown.com. So here's a first down and 10 from the 25. Or I'm sorry. Yes, a first down 10 from the 25, and Novak has all day to throw. He'll now look to run. Novak sheds off. No. Great tackle in open space from Komayao to drag him down after a solid run, though, from the quarterback, Judd Novak.
And a different look, you had the multiple wide receiver set going to the short side of the field. So really not a lot of options to that wide side of the field. And Shepherd, again, they're very tough in open spaces. So you give them a little bit of less ground to cover, and they're a very tough unit.
So I'll do it for the first quarter. Our score, or no score, between these two teams. We're back in 60 seconds.
With a great selection comes great possibilities. And at CMA's CDJR of Martinsburg, the possibilities are endless. Shop our amazing selection of new vehicles like the Ram 1500. And right now, save on new Jeeps like the Wrangler and Grand Cherokee models. Plus, every Jeep purchase comes with our Jeep Wave program. So wherever your possibilities take you, you'll be connected. Shop CMA's CDJR of Martinsburg today. Owners just care more.
We are the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
We're back here as Kutztown has it, driving into Shepherd territory. Novak is the quarterback. Burkhardt is the running back to his right. Wide receiver goes in motion. And Novak now rolling out to the right. Under some pressure, throws on the run, complete. No, incomplete, as he couldn't get his feet in for Husser, the tight end, Tyreek Husser. And that will force a second down.
And Husser, he doesn't get many looks for this Golden Bears team coming in. He has 6 catches on the season for 56 yards and a touchdown. But again, with that type of size, he's going to be somebody that can help you out not only in the passing game, but also a physical inline blocker, more of your traditional tight end at 6'4", 240 pounds.
Well, even though Husser didn't get a foot in as we got third down here, that was an excellent catch as they gave us a good replay there from a different angle. But unfortunately, he wasn't going to be able to get the foot in. But still a great catch, just incomplete. But anyway, Novak looking toward the end zone. And wow, a great dive and a touchdown if he hauled it in, but there is a flag on the play as they now do officially rule it a touchdown, but we'll see if Sasbo was able to hold it in or if it is an incomplete pass. Or, I'm sorry, an offensive pass interference, I should say.
I believe that Harrison is going to be the guilty party, and that is true.
Doesn't really look like too much to me there, but
Sasbo
might have hooked his arm possibly, I guess. But
and a lot of times, they'll let the wide receiver and the cornerbacks, play physically, but that time is Harrison a little bit too much, but Luke Sasbo able to make that catch, and has been
maybe not enough since he still allowed them to catch it. So the point after coming here for the Golden Bears, it's Campbell on to attempt it, and Campbell's kick is good. So Kutztown 7, Shepherd nothing. 14:48 to go in this second quarter. We'll take a 1-minute break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
We welcome you back here. Kutztown 7, Shepherd nothing. 14:48 to go in this first half. Nick Verzolini, Travis Smith, Colin McLaughlin, our on-site producer. And shout out Colin, he's doing a little bit of everything for us in terms of making sure our streams are all lined up to help us out. But Shepherd gets this kickoff return and doesn't go too far. Cam Dorner on the return will only get out to about the 18-yard line. And Shepherd will come out on offense. So, Travis, they've had a few drives where they've had some success, but those drives have both stalled out for Shepherd.
And it's going to be critical again for Shepherd, this offense. They're going to have to answer. They can't afford to put themselves in a big hole versus this group because Kutztown, again, they have a very methodical approach on offense. It's changed up from years past where they don't have that physical running game. Now they have more of an efficient passing game. And, again, it's going to be tough to dig out of a hole versus a team that, one, has this type of defense and also an offense that really can put points on the board.
Well, the Rams are looking for the deep ball. Powell deep down the middle of the field and incomplete. He wanted Cam Dorner on that post play that has been so good for Shepherd all season, but Kutztown was ready for it. Looked like Lee Coleman in coverage for KU.
And again, a couple of defenders back there. And that's something that Shepherd really does a good job of mixing up formations and really forcing teams to play that too high safety look. That's going to leave the middle of the field open for that deep post. Teams would prefer to try to stay in a single high look to try to take away that deep post. But Shepherd just does a good job of forcing them out of that with their
That one's tipped and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kutztown. As a great play on the edge
like Brandon Strausser,
by the Golden Bears.
Brandon Strausser, the 5'11", 230 redshirt junior, was able to tip that ball up in the air and take it in for the score. He's coming into today's game, had 23 tackles, 12 of those solo. Also has 1.5 tackles for a loss, including a sack. We can go ahead and add a pick 6 to that stat total after that play.
So it's 13-0 Golden Bears as Powell tried to get it out quickly, but like we saw in the Westchester game, Kutztown was able to get a hand on it, or a D lineman / outside linebacker was able to get a hand on it, knock it into the air, and then take it to the house to make it 13-0 Golden Bears. The extra point is up, and it is good. Kutztown 14, Shepherd nothing. 14:32 to go in this first half. We're back in 1 minute.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Mother Shuckers. Fresh Florida stone crab straight from the boat to your throat. Blue crabs, king, snow, Dungeness, all available year-round. Try and find that anywhere else around here. Homemade soup specials every day. Mother Shuckers is located at 1014 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Mother Shuckers, we have an opinion. If you don't like it, shuck it up, Buttercup. Come on over to Mother Shuckers.
We're back here after the pick six by Kutztown. Our scoring drives are brought to you by John Doyle for the Eastern Panhandle. As we had a scoring drive earlier from Kutztown and then a pick six there from Lake Powell, resulting in the touchdown. 14-0 Golden Bears with 14:32 to go in this first half, and see if Shepherd can get something on this kickoff return. No is the answer. Only out to about the 24-yard line before KU was there to come up and make the hit. So I'll bring up first down and 10 here for the Rams offense. And Travis, those first two drives went pretty well, like we said. They got into Kutztown territory. Couldn't finish them off, though, and then a pick six this time. This unit, like we said in the pregame show, one of the best, not only in the PSAC, but in the country.
And coming into today's game, Kutztown has forced 15 turnovers on the year. So that is a group that does have a knack for making those type of plays.
Like Powell sends two guys in motion. And now we'll go play action pass. Dump it down underneath to Dorner. Dorner accelerates up the far sideline and heads out of bounds. Short of the sticks, but that's a good way to get like Powell's confidence right back. Get him a short completion. Bring up a second down and manageable. Jordan Barnett's the back in the backfield, as well as Malachi Brown here for this second down and about 6.
Again, important for the Shepherd offense to win on first down to keep them out of those second and long and third and long and predictable situations.
Barnett is the back even with Powell. Now Fisher goes in motion. They'll fake a toss and now swing it out to Brown, and cuts down all over it. Flying to the football was the Golden Bears. Looked to be Henser, I believe that was. Number 23, safety.
Right now, other than that one deep pass over the middle to Dorner, Shepherd really hasn't tried to attack this Kutztown defense vertically. Just trying to make some plays out on the edge and just really putting an emphasis on run after the catch. And so far, that Kutztown defense has been up to the challenge.
Third down and long here for Shepherd, about 7 or 8. Powell dumps it down underneath on the screen. Nice design play, and Malachi Brown takes it for a first down across the 40-yard line. Haven't seen that from Shepherd this year. New wrinkle in their offense. Brown starts off blocking, then lets the defender go, and ends up hauling in the screen pass. Like that play call.
Absolutely, and what you're putting an emphasis on is that you have those type of linemen that
probably should have been a penalty. It looks like illegal men downfield there for Shepherd, I would think.
But that's one of the benefit of having those style of offensive linemen, that they're smart, they're good in space, and you allow them to get down the field. And if the running back's able to catch the ball, I believe, behind the line of scrimmage,
right,
those linemen can get downfield and engage in blocks.
So there you go. As there's the halfback toss, and Kutztown was not having that. That's Henser again, the safety, coming up and making the tackle for KU.
And again, that play was blown up right away, getting pressure back there and forcing Malachi Brown to take it a little bit wider, and that was just enough for the cavalry to get there and bring him down in the backfield. And now you're kind of in a hole. You go for those high percentage plays early on, but if it turns out to be a loss, now you're in the situation that you were trying to avoid, and now you're just having to try to chop it in half. You're not going to be able to get it all back in one play. If you can chop it in half, that's going to put you in pretty good position to try to convert that third down.
Batten, the receiver, in motion for Shepherd. Powell with some time. Now he is forced out of the pocket, sheds off a tackler, throws it on a comeback route and knocked away. Good defense from Kutztown will bring up a 3rd and long for Shepherd.
And again, that was a tough play. He gets pressure right up the middle, and then he's rolling out to the short side of the field. So you already have a small window, and it's shrinking even more as their quarterback goes towards the sideline. And again, not able to get that comeback, and now you're in that spot that you really want to try to avoid against the defense is good. Now you're 3rd and long, and now your hand is forced. Now the defense kind of knows what you're going to do, and now you can either make that choice. Are we going to send pressure, or are we going to play coverage? With 3 down linemen, looks like they're going to play coverage.
3rd and about 13 for Shepherd. Rams under pressure, and they're sacked in the backfield.
Delayed blitz. Good call by Kutztown.
Didn't need to bring the pressure, as coming in and making the sack was Braden Pullman, the defensive tackle.
The 6'3", 260-pound redshirt senior. And Kutztown did a good job of disguising that look. Looks like they were only going to rush 3. Then they had a couple of delay blitzes coming off the edge, and that put just enough pressure in Powell's face for him to have to roll out and eventually take the sack.
So Ryan Barrick will have to boot it away for Shepherd, and he does just that. That was fielded inside the 30-yard line.
And that was a different action. That was a different action for Shepherd on that punt play. Looks like they may be trying to set up possibly a trick play down the stretch.
Could be.
And again, you have an outstanding punter. Why not add in some wrinkles? You got an experienced group out there, so you can add some extra stuff in and expect them to be ready for that play when the play does come up.
But right now it's Kutztown 14, Shepherd nothing. So Rams in trouble here early on, as Kutztown will have it 1st down from inside the 30 to about the 26-yard line as we'll start this drive. For Judd Novak and the Golden Bear offense. Novak looking to throw, looking downfield, now rolling to the right. Novak's got some room here on the near side and steps out of bounds at around the 34, 35-yard line, close to the 1st down. Should bring up a 2nd and short.
Brett Quokka supplying a little bit of pressure on the back end, but again, Novak, again, he's not the scrambling threat that Westchester presented, but he is a savvy quarterback, and he has just enough speed where he can hurt you with his mobility if you don't have somebody really taking into account for that. So it's going to be important for that Shepherd defensive front to try to maintain those rush lanes and try to basically just put a cage around Novak and keep him in the pocket and don't allow him to break contain.
2nd down and about 2 for Kutztown. They'll hand it off to Stort. Stort gets close, but I think he's going to be about a yard short of that 1st down marker. So we'll bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Golden Bears. 14-0 Kutztown leads Shepherd here at home for them. Shepherd and Kutztown, it's been the away team to win every single game in the 5-game series between these two teams.
And we've seen Shepherd on the road versus Kutztown being down big at the half and able to dig themselves out of that hole. It's shaping up to look like that, but I don't know if Shepherd's going to have the firepower to dig out of a hole if they can't make a stand right now.
9:35 to go. Here's a run and a big play for Kutztown. Excellent execution. Stort into the secondary, 1st down and more. D. Tolbert pushes him out of bounds. But love that play call there from KU. Like to see it maybe from a different angle, but just everybody getting out in front and leading the charge.
Kutztown just doing a good job. It's unusual of attacking that short side of the field. They feel like they can have success running to the boundary, running behind that big right side of the offensive line. They got Adam Case, 310 at right guard, and at right tackle, Ryan Schernicke, 6'7", 300 pounds. So they're running behind the beef.
This time a run up the middle off the left side, and Shepherd all over it. But give credit as well to tight end fullback Nick Lovenguff, who threw that big block on that previous play. You gotta love yourself a 6'2", 240-pound tight end.
Yeah, named Lovenguff.
Kind of is their version of Jack Rosnich.
There you go.
But you need those kind of guys on every team. They're underappreciated, but they'll make some big plays. Just about 1 yard on that previous play for Kutztown. 2nd down and 9 here as the ball is moved into Shepherd territory. Novak slings one, but I think that bounced before it was into the hands of the receiver. No, they're saying catch. Wow. Looked to me like Chrysilla wasn't able to haul it in before it, I thought, hit the turf. But
looks like the back judge felt pretty confident about making that call. He made it pretty quick.
We're not getting any replay from the KU TV.
Said it was good. Keep it rolling.
It doesn't matter anyway. I guess they're not going to overturn it in the regular season.
All right, let's see if Kutztown tries to attack over the middle. There's no safety back deep for Shepherd on this play, and that end zone over the middle is kind of exposed.
Looking for the deep corner and incomplete. Batten had the coverage on the intended receiver for Mackay Gibson.
Yeah, that was Tolbert matched up on a wide receiver in Gibson. So Tolbert doing a good job of covering that wide receiver in space. And they did that wheel route. There was no safety help over the top, so that was an easy read that time for Novak. But good defense that time by Tolbert. Really didn't have a chance to get his head around and look at the ball, but was close enough to Gibson where he was in his kitchen, so to speak, and Gibson kind of broke his concentration. He wasn't able to bring that one in.
2nd and 10 from the 12-yard line. Preston is your receiver to the far side. Wide receiver in the slot, and Chrysilla goes in motion. They toss it to him, and he doesn't go too far. Shepherd all over that play. Matt Bednarski, the first man there for the Rams. Or really the only man there. Great tackle there by the defensive tackle on a wide receiver. So it brings us up a 3rd down and long still. 3rd about 9. Give them about 1 on that previous play for Kutztown. They're going quickly back on the ball.
5 wide look. We saw a lot of that when Shepherd went against Westchester. So it's going to be critical for those defenders, especially the linebackers there in the middle. You got O'Neal. It looks like Carroll. They're going to have to keep their eyes peeled because Novak could pull it down and make a play for himself.
Novak trying to run. Shepherd comes off the edge and gets to him in the backfield.
Job,
coming up, Harold O'Neal to get the sack. And that'll bring up a 4th down, and the Golden Bears are going to run the field goal unit on.
Shepherd defense did a good job of disguising that look. You had Carroll and you had O'Neal moving around. Both of those are defenders that have tremendous range, can make plays in the tackle box and out there on the edge. And that time O'Neal coming in hard off the edge, just able to run him down in the backfield. Not too often that Novak gets brought down by opposing defenses.
About a 35-yard field goal here for Dakota Campbell, the kicker for Kutztown, and Campbell's kick is up, and it is good. 17-0, those still Golden Bears on top with just 6:12 to go in this first half, but we do have a flag on the field goal. So hold everything.
And talking about that Kutztown offensive line, they have done an excellent job protecting their quarterback. That's only the 6th sack that they've allowed so far this year.
False start against Kutztown will push them back a few yards, and we'll have another field goal attempt. This one about a 40-yarder.
And that was a low snap that last time.
Yes.
Michael Galasso did a good job of digging that ball out of the turf and giving his kicker a clean look at the ball. So see if they're able to get that corrected, but a little bit longer shot this time.
40-yard kick here for Campbell, who seemed to have no problems on that previous kick. That one is up, and it is good. So it's still 17-0. Kutztown with 5:54 to go in this first half. We'll take a 1-minute break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Drive More Days is back at Carter Myers Automotive. And this year, we'll keep you rolling with a $1,000 gas card. Visit any of our locations to take a test drive, and we'll enter you into a drawing to win a $1,000 gas card. With that kind of money, fill up at the pump for the rest of the year completely on us. Stop in during Drive More Days for your chance to win a $1,000 gas card. Only at Carter Myers Automotive. Owners just care more.
The following is from an actual phone call.
Hello there. I'm a volunteer with End of Life Choices, and you knew a gentleman, Edward, who was coming out to use Oregon's Death with Dignity law. I actually worked with him, and he wanted me to reach out to you once he died to let you know that he did pass yesterday. So I did want to get that message to you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Let's not let this happen in West Virginia. Vote to permanently ban medically assisted suicide. Vote for Amendment 1.
We'll welcome you back here as Kutztown will kick it away after the field goal of 40 yards from Campbell. Our scoring drives brought to you by John Doyle for the Eastern Panhandle. And on the kickoff, it's a short kick, high kick, and it will head out of bounds. So Shepherd will have good field position here once again. As we continue here in the second quarter, about 5:54 left, 17-0 Kutztown. Our second quarter also brought to you by Smallwood & Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard, as well as John Doyle for the Eastern Panhandle. Vote John Doyle on November 5th. But Travis, see what Shepherd can do here.
So illegal procedure kind of bails out the offense a little bit. They're going to set up with good field position. And again, just Shepherd just looking for something positive here in the first half that they can try to build on going into the second half as they're trying to chip away at this lead.
Rams in the pistol formation. Roman Pearson on the field, the former Martinsburg Bulldog, and they run the ball off the right side. But KU able to force it back inside and make the tackle. There's Heil in there to make it.
And that was Mason Wilson did a good job of redirecting that play. The defensive end was able to push himself into the backfield. And again, Barnett, you want him running downhill. So if you're able to make him switch up his feet before he's able to hit the line of scrimmage, that's going to be a huge advantage for the defense. And that time, Mason Wilson, the 6'2", 255-pound redshirt senior, able to make a play by just getting pressure in the backfield.
He does gain about 3, makes it a 2nd and 7. Here's a pass complete to Jack Rosnage to the 41-yard line. So it'll be a third down already for Shepherd. 3rd and about 4 from their own 41.
That's always tough. You're going up against a defense of this caliber. It seems like those third downs come up quickly. And again, putting a lot of pressure on this offense and still searching for some answers to try to solve this riddle late in the second half.
Barnett remains the back.
In the first half.
To the left of Powell. He'll go play action, dump it down now to Jordan Barnett. And couldn't quite tell if he was able to get there, but I don't think he did. Only got maybe back to the line, maybe a gain of 1 on the play.
And again, C.J. Brown coming up, making that tackle in space. And you get a big rumbler like Barnett. He didn't get the ball many times out of the backfield, but that's shown he is a capable receiver coming out. But it looks like it's going to be a false start call versus Shepherd.
And they'll just decline because it would have been 4th down anyway, so Shepherd will punt.
Brown just doing a good job of bringing down the big running back out there in the flats.
Some interesting plays there. You go to Jack Rosnage, your fullback, and then Jordan Barnett, your your power back. Is it also will be a punt here for Shepherd? I think fake punt pass from Ryan Barrick, and the pass is complete. But short. I think Kutztown made the tackle short of the first down. I think that's Stanfield or Greer there on the reception. I believe it's Stanfield, though.
Noah Kinsey coming up, making that tackle.
No, it was Miles Greer. Ryan Barrick, you talked about it earlier, could be a fake punt. And, hey, pretty good throw from Barrick. But a great job by the Kutztown special teams to be aware of the fake and make that tackle.
And again, it was something where Shepherd was kind of tipping their hand earlier. That was a different punt look than they've used so far this season, again, sending Greer in motion. So it was kind of putting you on alert that something tricky was going to happen. They know coming into today's game that special teams was going to have to give them some type of big play. And, again, you have a veteran group out there on your punt unit, but coming up just a bit short on that fake punt.
So Kutztown takes over again.
That was a false start.
Shepherd brings some pressure on the play.
Well, there was some miscommunication that time by Kutztown. There were some people moving, some people standing still. And one of the few times that they've come up short on first down. Now this Rams defense, now they have an opportunity to try to make a stop right here, and it's going to be critical. Shepherd's offense, they need that ball back. They need something to get something going positive on the offensive side of the ball before the end of this first half.
Yeah, Shepherd got the ball first as well, so Kutztown will get it to start the second half. At 17-0 Kutztown already here with 3:45 to go in this second quarter. Novak trying to keep this Golden Bear offense going. Novak takes the snap. Shepherd brings some pressure. Novak trying to look to run now, but good job by this Rams defense to pursue the football. Groves comes up as well as O'Neal to make that tackle. It'll be third down.
And again, good job getting on pressure. That's going to speed up the clock in the quarterback's head. And Novak, not wanting to force it, pulls it down, tries to get outside. And again, like we've mentioned all year long, this Shepherd defense, they're so rangy, they're so athletic. Again, you might catch them out of position briefly, but they're so quick to react and rally to the ball. And that's what they were able to do that time, bringing down Novak and forcing a 3rd and long. Big third down for this Shepherd defense. They need this. The offense needs this.
3rd and about 9 here for Kutztown. 3 minutes to go in this first half. Novak takes the snap. Steps up, throws, tipped and knocked away by Shepherd. Harold O'Neal got a hand on it, I do believe, before he was able to reach the receiver. And then the Rams came up and made the hit, but even if he hauled it in, most likely would have been tackled short of the line to gain.
So you're starting to see this Shepherd defense. Now they're stiffening up. The previous drive, they give up the field goal. This time they're able to go out there and get the 3 and out. And O'Neal almost
I don't know if
up.
that was even the intended receiver the way I looked at it there again.
Yeah, it wasn't, because he was trying to go over the linebackers, but O'Neal very athletic, going up and knocking it down.
And then the receiver just tried to catch it off of the deflection. Shepherd will have it backed up. Miles Greer will fair catch at about the 11-yard line. So Harold O'Neal having another excellent performance for this Rams defense.
Making a variety of plays, coming up in the run, pressuring the quarterback, has a tipped pass that time. We'll need some more plays like that if the Rams are expecting to dig out of this hole, but that's the defense is trending in the right direction. You give up a couple of touchdowns early on, you force them to a field goal on the previous drive, and then that last drive, able to have them a 3 and out and giving the ball back to your offense with 2:45 left. A couple of timeouts for the Rams in their back pocket, and again, try to get something going before you go into half, and something to build on going into the second half.
And you got to remember, too, one of those scores was off of a pick 6, so the defense has really only given up 10 points in this first half. That's not bad against this Kutztown team, so the offense needs to step up here. And Lech Powell passes it underneath, complete on the run for Jeremiah Taylor, who gets a big block. Good to see Taylor getting involved in this offense. It's been a very slow start for him after being named to the top 100 Division II players by D2Football.com. So people had high expectations for the wide receiver. It's been some drops early in the year to maybe get him off to a slow start, but a great block from Dustin Fisher there on the edge. Actually, excuse me, that's Jack Rosnich picking it up, and Taylor
And again,
able to make a big play.
2 catches last week. That's nothing that's going to jump off the statue, but I just like the way he played and the type of catches that he had is letting you know that he's beginning to come out of that funk, and Shepherd's going to need that today.
Powell with some time. Rolling out and looking to run. He'll slide smartly as Kutztown was flying after him.
There you go. Even a referee took a shot on that play. So a lot of people flying down. The referee still down on the sideline. Luckily, he's close to a trainer. They can get his treatment immediately.
Jalen DeVos, I think, was the one chasing down Lech Powell. But yes, ref down on that Shepherd sideline. So hopefully he is okay, as he did take a hit there on the situation where Lech Powell slid out of the way to avoid any contact. As we have reached the 2-minute timeout as well, I do believe. So let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football. Actually, make it a minute, Colin, on TV 10.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
You feel that in the air? The precision passes of expletives thrown from a jersey-clad warrior to his TV, his dog, or anyone that'll listen. It's time for tailgating and showing off those parking lot picnics. Just remember, when you come out of the fourth quarter to 5 new dents, remember Cody's Auto Body is your MVP. I can erase those dents, just not the memory of your team's awful record. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body. That's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
We're back. Shepherd trails at Andre Reed Stadium 17-0 between Shepherd and Kutztown here today. But there's 2 minutes to go. A ref was hit on the play. Looks like possibly everything could be good there, but 2-minute timeout between Shepherd and KU, and Golden Bears lead at 17-0 over the Shepherd Rams. The Rams were having some success early in the game with their field position, had a few decent drives, got into Kutztown territory, but couldn't get any points. They had a pick six as well. Only really allowed one or two big drives against this Kutztown offense. But here are 2 minutes left. Kutztown gets the ball to start the second half, so Shepherd needs to find its way into the end zone. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, Colin McLaughlin, our producer, as well. Happy to have you with us as Lek Powell looks to throw and fires it underneath, complete to Barry Hill, and Hill gets to about the 30-yard line before the Golden Bear defense surrounds him. Coleman in on that tackle for Kutztown.
Kutztown doing a good job of keeping everything in front of them, keeping everything underneath, and then doing a good job of rallying to the football and not allowing a lot of run after the catch.
Give credit as well to Austin Lehman in on that tackle for the Golden Bears. Powell looking to throw here again, looking for the deep ball. And well overthrown. C.J. Brown in coverage on Barry Hill, the intended receiver, brings up a fourth down all of a sudden.
And that was a tough play. Looked like a corner out going to Hill, and he's looking back over his shoulder right back into the sun. You can kind of see the way the shadows are being cast on the field. That was going to be a difficult catch for him to try to bring that in. And now you see the Shepherd punt unit coming out onto the field. Again, Shepherd, still a lot of opportunities to get back into this game, but as that clock begins to tick down, those opportunities are going to begin to run out.
It's a short punt this time from Barrick, and Kutztown looking to do some damage with it. On the punt return, they get across the 40-yard line here. Still have 1:10 and 2 timeouts to do some damage here before halftime, Travis.
That was Sincere Thomas with a couple of ferocious stiff arms that time and picking up some yards. Again, that special teams unit for Shepherd has done a good job not only punting the ball but good punt coverage. But that time a very physical run by Sincere Thomas. The 5'7", 145-pound redshirt sophomore was able to pick up some hard-earned yards on that play.
So we'll see what Kutztown can do. Now, with 1:10 left to go before halftime and a chance to add to this 17-0 lead against Shepherd. So far, the offense for Kutztown has been solid. Shepherd defense has made some big plays. Of course, there was a pick six as well for Kutztown. Here's a wide receiver screen not really going anywhere. Shepherd all over that one. Kawoka in on that tackle, as well as Groves. Will bring up a second down. Clock still rolling here. 55 seconds to go in the first half. Kutztown out to the 42-yard line. Novak with time, looks deep over the middle, and it's picked off. Shepherd's there and catching it in stride. It's Miles Greer, and Greer's going to take it into Kutztown territory to the 37-yard line.
We talked about Greer. He has an impact on special teams, not only with his individual ability, but just with his smarts on that play, using smarts on defense, getting himself into position, and Kutztown forcing the ball on that drive. I understand you have that sense of urgency where you're trying to really take a stranglehold on today's game, but really no reason to try to force it, because then you're going to open yourself up to turnovers, and that time Miles Greer getting a much-needed turnover for this Shepherd Ball Club.
Could that be the play that sparks the Rams here in this first half and give them some momentum heading into halftime? We'll have to wait and see. Like Powell looking to throw, though. He wants a pump fake and now looks downfield, scrambles out of the pocket. Powell under some pressure and just throws it away into the Shepherd Rams bench. So 32 seconds now. Shepherd, though, still well out of field goal range, so we'll have to do some work to try to get points before halftime. And as we mentioned, the freshman kicker missed from 26 last week. So how confident is Shepherd in its kicking game at this point in the season? Rams have it at the 40-yard line of Kutztown after the Miles Greer pick. It's Dorner, the receiver, to the far side. That's Barry Hill in the slot and Jeremiah Taylor at the bottom of your screen. I believe Roman Pearson in the slot to the far side as Powell dumps it down. Screen to Malachi Brown. That's only going to go for a yard.
Good tackle.
Kutztown with a great play in space from one of their linebackers, Jalen DeVos.
5'11", 215-pound grad student coming up, and that's an awful tough assignment to bring down Malachi Brown out in open field. And DeVos, one of the leading tacklers for this Kutztown defense coming into today's game. 32 tackles, 13 of those solo, 3 tackles for loss. Also has a pass breakup and a fumble recovery.
So we got a timeout here of 23 seconds to go before halftime. Before this third down here, third and about 9 from the 40-yard line. So what does Shepherd have for him? And what can Kutztown draw up defensively, as they've been able to slow down this Rams offense pretty much all day. And they've been able to get it into KU territory.
And according to the scoreboard, it looked like Kutztown was the team that took the timeout. I guess just trying to force the hand of Shepherd, not allowing them just to run out the clock, going to make them make a decision. But Shepherd, 23 seconds left, 2 timeouts. They still have some options. But
yeah, it's a fourth down here, apparently, as well. But I think it should be third. So I don't think that's right. But anyway, like Powell takes a scramble out to the near side and then slides down. As the defensive back was flying in.
Johnson,
the linebacker. But I think we have a penalty before that. Illegal hands to the face against Shepherd either way. So that'll back them up if they do accept, but I think they'll most likely decline the penalty and force the fourth down. So only 16 seconds. Kutztown does have a timeout left, but I think Shepherd will most likely just punt here.
And again, down 17, not an insurmountable amount for the Shepherd offense. They've been averaging just a tick over 27 points per game. But that is a tough road to hoe when you're going up against a talented defense the way that the Golden Bears have been able to play this year.
Yeah, Kutztown's only allowed at most in a game 21 points. So hypothetically, you can only allow 4 more points to have a chance to force overtime. Based off of how good this defense has been. And the Shepherd offense today, not looking its best. Looks to be kind of windy there at Kutztown as well. I just saw the ball roll away from the wind, but should be a fourth down unless they ended up changing their mind and accepting that penalty, but kind of hard to tell. Our scoreboard says third down, but it's been a little bit up and down throughout the game, but we certainly do appreciate the feed. There it is, fourth down here with 15 seconds left, 17-0 Kutztown. Shepherd's going to be forced to punt, and Kutztown, unless they can get a big punt return, will probably just take a knee and head into halftime since they do get the ball to start the second half. But stay tuned. At halftime, we'll have our halftime show where we'll break down the first half, give you some scores from around the country, as well as take a look at some first half stats between Kutztown and Shepherd. Long timeout here for this fourth down. And here we go. Shepherd will bring its punt unit on. Ryan Barrick, who's completed a pass today, but it was short of the sticks. So this is a 4th down and pretty long, though, for Shepherd. They show some motion. Barrick looks to boot it away, and he gets it away cleanly. And it will bounce and roll inside the 5-yard line and end up rolling into the end zone with just 7 seconds left. So, touchback, and don't expect much here from Kutztown, I would presume here, Travis.
You would think that they learned their lesson from their previous drive where they were trying to force the action and it resulted in a turnover. Luckily for Kutztown, they were able to have a good defensive stand and no points were a result of that turnover. And again, I understand the sense of urgency. Kutztown, thinking that they had their opponent on the ropes, was looking for that kill shot to end the first half, knowing that they're going to get the ball back. But the more you risk it, the better chance that you have of giving Shepherd an opportunity to get back into the game.
So there's the kneel down from Kutztown, and we'll head to halftime. Kutztown 17, Shepherd nothing. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We'll take a 2-minute break.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Drive More Days is back at Carter Myers Automotive. And this year, we'll keep you rolling with a $1,000 gas card. Visit any of our locations to take a test drive, and we'll enter you into a drawing to win a $1,000 gas card. With that kind of money, fill up at the pump for the rest of the year, completely on us. Stop in during Drive More Days for your chance to win a $1,000 gas card. Only at Carter Myers Automotive. Owners just care more.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
We're at the half. Time for a scoring recap, stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV 10 broadcast team.
We're back here in the studio as Kutztown Shepherd doing battle, and it is 17-0 Kutztown here at halftime. Our halftime show brought to you by the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. Nick Verzley, Travis Smith here at the half. Travis, give us, I guess, some first half thoughts from you.
First half thoughts? Well, we knew what we were going to get from Kutztown today. They're going to be steady on the offensive side of the ball, although they have shown that they have a very capable offense. They're not going to wow you with big plays, even though they were able to connect on a long touchdown pass. They're just methodical, and they're going to be able to put points on the board, and they were able to do that early on, although Shepherd seemed to have things figured out there by the end of the first half, forcing them to a field goal in one possession, then after that going 3 and out. So you like the way that the defense is trending for Shepherd, especially after seeing the Miles Greer interception, but you're going to have to be able to score points to be able to beat this Kutztown team, and that's where things have really come up short for Shepherd. They tried some trickeration on the fake punt. It was there, but again, Kutztown, good defensive unit, able to make a play short of the sticks on that play, forcing a turnover on downs. But the Shepherd is having a hard time getting anything going. And you can kind of see Shepherd, they try to use the short passing game early on to try to supplement the run game. but it really hasn't worked out that well because Kutztown has done a good job of coming up and really limiting the run after the catch. I think Shepherd's really going to have to get back to running the ball. You saw early on in the game where they were pounding the ball up the middle, getting those first yards, and more importantly, avoiding those second and long and third and long situations. I think that's going to be something. Again, it's not the most glamorous way to get back into the game, but you have had some success on the ground. I think you're going to have to get back to doing that and give your defense a chance to rest. The defense did well, but they were out there for a lot of snaps in that first half, and you really don't want to see them start to wilt in the second half. So that means the onus is going to be on the offense to go out there and have some sustained drives that come away with points. The offense is going to have to make some plays today in order to get back into this contest.
We'll give you some first half stats, which are brought to you by Ollie's VIP Northside, the best local spot to catch sports or hang out with friends. Stop by 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. Ollie's VIP will see you for the game. And we'll take a look at Shepherd's stats here first. You mentioned the offensive struggles like Powell in that first half, Travis. 14 of 20, so that's not bad, 70%. One pick, no touchdowns, just 69 passing yards in that first half. In terms of the ground game for Shepherd, some of the receivers first. Malachi Brown has 5 catches for 19 yards. Barry Hill has a few catches, 4 of them. Cam Dorner has hauled in a total of 2 catches for 8 yards. Jeremiah Taylor, 1 catch for 14 yards. So even though Shepherd's getting its fair share of completions, Travis, it seems like pretty conservative underneath stuff as we kind of saw in that first half, and that's not going to get it done against this
and
defense.
no rack. That's the big thing. It's like, that's fine. You want to take the high percentage stuff underneath, but you're doing that with the understanding is I'm trying to get the ball to an athlete in space, and hopefully they can make somebody miss or break a tackle and get some run after the catch, and they haven't been able to do that. So right now, Kutztown is content to keep everything in front of them, rally to the football, and tackle. And that's usually what we hear a lot talking about in regards to the Shepherd defense. But right now, Kutztown kind of giving Shepherd a taste of their own medicine of rallying to the football and not allowing any type of yards after the catch. So that means the Rams are really going to have to try to attack them a little bit more vertically to try to stretch out that defense and give them a little bit more territory to be concerned about.
That's typically what we see in games in the past. Kutztown has the defense, has the kind of athletes to match Shepherd. And heading into this game, it's more so can Shepherd match their athletes, because Kutztown being the big favorite, being the top 5 team, the roles are a little bit reversed, but it feels like even the difference between Shepherd and Kutztown compared to maybe a few years ago when Shepherd was that kind of team compared to Kutztown's teams is a wider margin, at least it looks like in that first half. For the Rams, in terms of running the football, 2 carries for 10 yards for Jordan Barnett. Malachi Brown ran it 5 times for just 6 yards, and Grant Swinehart had just 1 carry for 2 yards, so never really established any sort of running game in that first half. In terms of the defensive leaders for Shepherd, Miles Greer leads the way with 4 tackles and an interception. Harold O'Neal feels like he's been all over the field, but only, according to the stats, 3 tackles for him. G.O.D. Tolbert had a big hit, 3 total tackles. And then for Kutztown, we'll give you their stats. The passing yards, Judd Novak has thrown the ball for just 74 yards in that first half. He's 6 of 13 with an interception and a touchdown. Overall, Shepherd's done a pretty good job against this KU offense, despite the 17 points on the board. A pick 6, field goal, and just really one big drive for them. Jaden Stort has ran the ball 4 times for 37 yards. Novak's ran for 21 yards. Burkhart ran for 12 yards. In terms of the receivers, Priscilla led the way in receptions with 3 catches for 26 yards. Makai Gibson just 1 catch. Sosbo with the touchdown catch, and Preston with a catch, as we haven't seen Ravnell do anything in that first half, and he's one of their big-name receivers. So overall, you feel really good about this Shepherd defense and how they've held Kutztown intact, despite 17 points being put up. Maybe seems like they would be struggling, but really the defense has done its job.
So good coverage on the big-name players, so they had to go to one of their backup wide receivers able to sneak behind the defense. And, again, he made a tough contested catch, so the defense was there. It was just a case where the offense was a little bit better. And, again, we're talking about how Kutztown, it's a different group that's out there than we've seen in years past. In years past, they relied on a gritty, physical ground and pound type of approach on offense. This year, they more use that running game to try to keep the defense honest, putting a little bit more emphasis on their passing game. They've been able to come up with enough plays today to give them a big 17-0 lead going into the half.
All right, we'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from Colin. He'll have some halftime scores for us. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 2 minutes.
With a great selection comes great possibilities. And at CMA's CDJR of Martinsburg, the possibilities are endless. Shop our amazing selection of new vehicles like the Ram 1500. And right now, save on new Jeeps like the Wrangler and Grand Cherokee models. Plus, every Jeep purchase comes with our Jeep Wave program. So wherever your possibilities take you, you'll be connected. Shop CMA's CDJR of Martinsburg today. Owners just care more.
This is Cody with Cody's Auto Body. The stories are on the way. Reliving glory days, the injury that prevented stardom, or the inevitable, I even could have made that play. With football season comes a lot of delusion of greatness. Well, no one believes you would have made it in the big leagues. Let's at least make them think you're a good driver. Bring that vehicle to me and I will make it the pride of the parking lot at every game. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body, the MVP of your season. That's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Drive More Days is back at Carter Myers Automotive, and this year we'll keep you rolling with a $1,000 gas card. Visit any of our locations to take a test drive, and we'll enter you into a drawing to win a $1,000 gas card. With that kind of money, fill up at the pump for the rest of the year, completely on us. Stop in during Drive More Days for your chance to win a $1,000 gas card. Only at Carter Myers Automotive. Owners just care more.
There we go. In the studio at the half. All good, Nick? Okay. Thank you. It is 17-0. Shepherd trails Kutztown. Let's take a look now around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. An overtime final score as California PA defeats IUP by a final of 16-13. Also going final, it was Gannon defeating Edinburgh 25-21. Another final score and another close game. East Stroudsburg at home narrowly defeats Lock Haven in comeback fashion in the fourth by a final of 38-35. And then in the first quarter, it is 13-0. Westchester leads Millersville. At halftime, Bloomsburg leads Shippensburg 13-0. Then at 4 p.m., kicking off, it will be Clarion against Seton Hill. Let's now look at some Division I football scores as number 4 Ohio State currently leads Nebraska 21-17 with just over 3.5 minutes left in the fourth. Nebraska with the football trying to get the win. 7:42 left in the fourth quarter. It's number 18 Ole Miss leading Oklahoma 26-14. 27 seconds left in the fourth. Memphis leads Charlotte 31-28. Tulane is dominating North Texas 45-30 with 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter in that one. Minute and a half left in quarter number 3. It's Arkansas dominating Mississippi State 41-25. App State and Georgia State in a tight one in the third quarter with 5 minutes left. App State leads that one 25-23. Almost halftime, Miami of Ohio leads Central Michigan 13-7 with 40 seconds left. 21-13, Temple leads East Carolina with 6:57 left in the second quarter, and that's all the games currently in action at the Division I football level collegiately. Again, the score at the half between Shepherd Kutztown, 17-0. The Golden Bears lead the Rams. Step aside, take another 2-minute break, and then Travis and Nick will begin talking once again here to my left and right, and we'll see how much time we have left before trying to get back with the second half.
I'm John Doyle, and I'm running for the state Senate in the 16th Senatorial District. I stand strongly for your right to repair any product you purchase. Presently, manufacturers are permitted to retain as proprietary information that is necessary to repair that product. And I think that's wrong. I think you should be guaranteed that information so you can repair it yourself or take it to your friendly neighborhood repair person. I ask for your vote on November 5th, authorized by Doyle for the Eastern Panhandle, Alan Stern, Treasurer.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
Mother Shuckers. Fresh Florida stone crab straight from the boat to your throat. Blue crabs, king, snow, Dutchness, all available year-round. Try and find that anywhere else around here. Homemade soup specials every day. Mother Shuckers is located at 1014 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Mother Shuckers, we have an opinion. If you don't like it, shuck it up, Buttercup. Come on over to Mother Shuckers.
Most insurance companies see you as a claim number. Most law firms see you as a case file. When their top priority is their bottom line, you only get a fraction of the attention that you deserve. At the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, it's personal. We listen to our clients to see the whole picture, because every part of you is important. For a team built on relationships and results, call Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson at 304 Lawyers, or visit us at burkeandschultz.com.
Welcome you back here at halftime. Again, 17-0. Kutztown leading Shepherd. We gave you some individual stats. We can take a look now, possibly at some team stats and how the two teams compare in that first half. First downs, only 3 more for Kutztown than Shepherd, 8-5. The rushing yards, though, you see a significant advantage for KU. Shepherd's ran the ball 12 times, but just 9 rushing yards in that first half. Kutztown 16 carries for 70 yards as a team. The passing game's been relatively even, 74 to 71 yards between the two teams. The total yardage, though, 144 to 80 in favor of Kutztown. In terms of time of possession, all that stuff, pretty much even. Third down percentages aren't too far off. 2 for 8 is Shepherd, 2 for 6 is Kutztown, but Shepherd also being 0 for 2 on fourth down has been costly, and both teams have thrown in interceptions. So besides the rushing yards, which leads to that total yardage and a pick six and a few things here and there, it's been a relatively even first half despite the deficit. So Shepherd can still work their way back into this game, Travis, but it's going to take a big effort here in this second half.
And it's going to take some explosive plays. We've seen Shepherd games where they've been on the road at Kutztown and having a big halftime deficit and able to climb out of that. Now, that was a team that had a lot of firepower, so digging themselves out of a hole wasn't as big a deal as it would be for this group. This group is they've got to find their way. Again, we've talked about it, and Coach McCook always praises this group as how they're able to face adversity and battle back. Well, they got a face full of adversity in the first half. Let's see if they're able, one, to make those adjustments and just try to get something established here in the second half. And I think the first order of business is going to be one, cover the kick. You don't want to give them some momentum right off the bat. And again, that defensive unit, they're trending in the right direction. Let's see if they can get a 3-and-out on this first drive and get the ball back to the offense with a little bit of momentum, with a little bit of wind at their back, and they're going to have to score some points if they're going to get back into this. And I still think that they're going to need some big plays out of their special teams if Shepherd is looking to, one, take some pressure off of that offense and just try to put some points on the board. We already know Kutztown, they're a well-built, solid team, and they're not going to make many mistakes. So when they do, you got to be able to capitalize on it and come away with some points.
All right, let's go ahead and take another 2-minute break or so, and then on the other side of that break, we'll should have the start of the second half, I would think. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Have you been smoking? I can smell it. Hickory.
I'm gonna watch you smoke the whole pack.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Have you been smoking? I can smell it. Hickory.
I'm gonna watch you smoke the whole pack.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
We welcome you back here as Shepherd and Kutztown getting ready to start this second half here momentarily. Nick Verzolini and Travis Smith here in the studio for you. Colin McLaughlin is our producer. And Travis, we're about ready to start this second half as the two teams are back on the field. So, see here what happens. I mean, it's 17-0. We feel like Shepherd may be a little bit closer than 17-0 in terms of some of the overall numbers, but they didn't establish a running game in that first half, and at the end of the day, 17 points and a half is a pretty significant margin to try to close out. So can this defense set the tone with a big stop to start the second half? That would be key, obviously.
And Shepherd, you have to feel good about things that you're doing on defense, is that when you're sending blitzes, that you're able to get pressure and you're forcing Novak to bring it down. Again, he's not the scrambling threat that Westchester was. So if you're able to make him abandon that pocket and pull it down and try to run, you have faith that your defense is going to be able to see that, react, and limit the runs that he's going to be able to make. So again, more blitzes, and that's going to create opportunities for turnovers, and I think that's something that Shepherd is desperately going to need, just something to give that offense a short porch to work on, and the offense has got to take care of business at that point and put some points on the board. The defense can't do it all themselves, and you mentioned that running game. Shepherd, they're down by 17, but that's not something where you have to abandon the running game. They're going to need that running game because not only is it going to be important to keep the offense on schedule, it's going to give that defense a chance to catch their breath and make some adjustments. They logged a lot of snaps in that first half, and you don't want to see them run out of gas here in the second half and really put even more pressure on that Shepherd offense to make some plays.
Rams kick it away to start this second half, and it will bounce at the 1-yard line, and Kutztown has to pick it up and get out to about the 20. Our second half kickoff is brought to you by the personal injury attorneys, Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. Visit burkeandschultz.com. We play hardball. we begin this third quarter between Shepherd and Kutztown. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, and kind of an interesting kickoff there. It bounced around the 1 yard line, and then Kutztown's kick returner realized he had to pick it up and try to do something with it, where it could have been trouble. But anyway, here we go.
And good coverage that time by the Shepherd kick unit. Let's see if the defense can, again, make some plays and get this offense a short porch to work with.
Here's the run with Stort up the middle. He finds some room. The running game has been solid for Kutztown in that first half.
Again, it's not as big a part of the offense as we've seen in years past. They do it more so to keep the defense honest, and Stewart did a good job of setting up his block on this play. They've had success running the ball off of the right side, and that time he ran behind big right tackle Ryan Schernicke, and he had to influence the defender to go outside before he was able to cut back inside. That's something that you see at the better running backs, is that they're able to set up their blocks and create those lanes for themselves in the running game.
Looks like Burkhart's the back here, and they'll give him the football. This time, though, Shepherd stacks it up for no gain on the play. So the Rams defense will force him to a third down and pretty long, as Davis came up and made that tackle, as well as Bednarski in the middle for the Rams.
And Burkhart, a solidly built running back, 5'11", 210. Kind of ideal size for a running back, and more of that physical presence in the running game for Kutztown. More of what we're used to seeing out of the Golden Bears, looking back to years past, the way that they've been able to lean on that running game just to really to pound on defenses and wear them down. But the Rams defensive unit, even though they're undersized up front, they do a good job of rotating guys, keeping guys fresh, so they're able to anchor at the point of attack in those type of running games.
Novak goes under center now, play action fake, and he'll keep it on the boot. Rams got to him. Ball came out, but I think he was down. Miles Greer makes the tackle short of the sticks.
Good job that time by Greer. Was out there in coverage. It looked like Novak thought he was going to be stuck to the offensive player on that play, but Greer able to make an adjustment and make a good open field tackle.
There's a flag on the play. But I would presume Shepherd's going to decline it here, and they do, so see the punt.
3 and out. That's what Shepherd needed. Good job again, Greer. That was a heck of a play out there on the edge. Went from coverage to breaking off of coverage and coming up and tackling the quarterback short of the sticks.
Kind of an interesting call there, but Shepherd able to get to him and force this punt, and now the Rams will have Miles Greer catch it on the run, and Greer's going to take it out across the 30 to about the 34-yard line, and that's where we'll see the Shepherd offense that has had its fair share of struggles here today. What can they do?
Yeah, well, we saw Kutztown have a similar look there in the first half, where the quarterback makes that last-second adjustment, comes up under center, and he handed it off to the fullback in the first half. This time, they fake that run up the middle, and the quarterback gets out on the edge. And again, you give your quarterback the option of either A, throwing the ball, or B, pulling it down and running it himself. But again, like we mentioned, that Shepherd defense so good, so athletic, so speedy, that you might catch them out of position briefly, but they do such a good job of reacting and making tackles in open space, and Greer was that guy last time.
Here's the run off the right side with Brown, and that goes nowhere, losing yardage on the carry. Loss of about 4 or 5, depending on where they spot it. So that's not at all what Shepherd wants in the running game now. Down to about 5 yards total on their, I believe, 13th rush of the day. So
that time, Mason Wilson again. He didn't make the tackle, but he's certainly making the play. He's doing a good job off of that side, going up against Brandon Carr, having his hands full with that edge defender.
There's a quick pass there that Shepherd completed for, it looks like about a 8-yard gain or so. So it should be about a 3rd and 6 for Shepherd. 8-9 yards on that previous play. Mike Powell with the trips receiver set and looking to throw. Powell slings it over the middle, incomplete, broken up on the play. Kutztown with the good defense that will force a 4th down and a punt, as once again Eden Johnson in coverage and making a big play for this Kutztown defense.
And the way you see him moving, he moves like a defensive back in space. So, again, physical presence versus the run, but also very capable pass defender that time. He was all over the wide receiver on that play.
Yeah, I mean, he's listed as a linebacker, but he's 5'10", 200. So that's, typical DB size when you get to this level. But he's a physical player and also a kind of modern linebacker in a lot of ways. Is on the punt return. Kutztown has a chance to break one here. Across the 40, cuts it back, and then Shepard makes the tackle. Big return there from Thomas.
Sincere Thomas, once again, 5'7", 145, but has shown an ability to break tackles. So you don't expect that from a guy of his stature, but showing there's a reason why he's back there returning punts is that he has that ability.
And he catches it over the shoulder again, so makes it kind of more difficult on himself as he's going back to return the punt. Get some good blocks there from the Kutztown punt return unit. Makes a few moves there at the 40-yard line and then falls forward for a few extra yards. So nice punt return there from Thomas. Sets up this KU offense at the 44-yard line. First down and 10 with 11:19 to play in this third quarter. 17-0 Golden Bears. Here's the run with Burkhart. Trying to find some room, but again, that Shepherd defense doing a good job on their run defense. There's Bednarski with another tackle.
And again, Kutztown, they more use that run just to try to keep the defense honest because they didn't do too well last week versus Shippensburg. Again, only 50 yards on the ground. They were able to punch it in 2 times with the running game, but again, not that running attack that we've seen in years past from this Golden Bears offensive unit.
10:44 to go. Third quarter. 4 receivers set for the Golden Bears. Second down about 7. Maybe 8. But Novak scrambling around, trying to make something happen here and just throws it away.
Oh, he didn't get that back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that should be intentional grounding, but he was out of the pocket, but he didn't throw it into the sideline, so I'm guessing since he was out of the pocket, it probably won't be grounding. So, bring up a third down.
And a lot of times they'll give the quarterback the benefit of the doubt, but if I'm on the Shepherd sidelines, I got to argue that ball didn't even make it back to the line of scrimmage on that play. It didn't look like it anyway. But again, Shepherd able to blitz effectively. They're not able to get home to get the blitz, but right now Kutztown trying to catch him off guard. Oh, it's only third down. Okay.
Third down from the 45. Novak. Looking again high and intercepted again. This time it's Dante Harrison at midfield. Novak has missed high a few times this afternoon.
Going to that slot on the right side, the passes have sailed on him. And this is 2 weeks in a row that Novak has thrown 2 interceptions in a game, and he hasn't thrown many all this season. Actually, he's thrown more the past 2 weeks than he has all year combined. So,
and again, it was intended for Sincere Thomas on the outside, kind of an undersized wide receiver. So, see Shepherd's bigger DBs making some big plays on these high throws. And Miles Greer and Dante Harrison that time. And again, Shepherd has an opportunity here at midfield to get on the board, but the Rams offense has been very quiet so far today. Like Powell, play action. Looking for a deep ball, going deep down the middle of the field into triple coverage and nearly gives it right back. Kutztown had good coverage deep down the field, but trying to get it in there. Keon Smith, the corner, making the pass breakup there.
And a different look that time, sending Malachi Brown out into the slot. Again, he is a converted wide receiver, but a lot of times you'll see 2 wide receivers out there as opposed to a running back and a wide receiver, and Kutztown was not fooled at all. Everybody collapsed on Dorner, and that was a bit of almost giving the ball right back to him.
They give it to Swinehart again, and again he loses yards on the play.
And again, the running backs having to make plays 2 and 3 yards deep in their own backfield, and that's just tough to do against this unit. And that was Jalen DeVos once again making his presence felt. And these 3rd and longs are just coming up fast and frequently for this Shepherd offense, and they're just having a hard time getting any type of sustained success going against this Golden Bears defense.
Good shot there. That Kutztown crowd, always a good atmosphere up there in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. Is like Powell rolling out to the right, trying to make something happen for his offense, and he throws it toward the sideline. Barry Hill trying to get a foot in. He did make the catch, about 2 yards short, though, of the first down marker. And I think Shepherd has to almost go for this one here on 4th and 2.
And Barry Hill doing a good job recognizing that his quarterback's out of the pocket looking for something. A good job working back to the ball. Barry Hill just making a savvy play at that wide receiver position, just giving his quarterback some type of option. Looks like there's some type of miscommunication out there between Dorner and the offense, but now everything's set. Powell's looking over to the sideline to get that last call, that last-minute adjustment against this stout Golden Bears defense.
Swinehart's the back here for 4th down and 2. Lech Powell's going to roll out to the near side, try to avoid the defense, and now just throw it down the field, and I have no idea what happened, but it looks like an incomplete pass.
Or an interception. Yeah, try to take a shot down the field. He's rolling out to his offhand side, and that's tough for anybody. And again, Powell just trying to make a play, give his offense some type of big play, but again, coming up short on that play. And the opportunities are coming up for Shepherd. They're just not able to get it done on offense.
Yeah, the replay doesn't really show us, but either way, it would have been a turnover on downs. Looks like an interception possibly. Yep. I think it is going to be an interception, so one that you should probably knock down.
Yeah, as good as a punt. Yeah, it's good as a punt.
Coleman coming up with that pick, it appears, for Kutztown. And we got an injury, so let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We're back here between Shepherd and Kutztown as Novak going to just keep it on the QB run out to about the 21-yard line. Rams defense comes up, makes the hit. So the interception set up Kutztown, but ultimately the turnover on downs would have given them better field position. So Coleman comes away with the interception, which will look nice on the stats, but one of those, I mean, I couldn't really see the play. Maybe he kind of had to catch it. I don't know. But so one that typically, though, you may rather fall incomplete and have your offense in a little bit better field position. But either way, they get the stop. So it'll be 2nd down here in about 5. They'll run Burkhart, I believe that is, and Burkhart shutting off tackles and picking up the 1st down and more. Naeem Alexander makes the tackle for Shepherd.
And now you're going to start to see Kutztown rely on that running game a little bit more, realizing that you don't have to force the issue. When you have tried to force the issue, it's resulted in turnovers. And at this point, that's really the only way that Shepherd's going to have an opportunity to get back into this game. So you don't have to go super conservative, but you can keep it on the ground. Just milk that clock, wear the defense down, and don't risk that turnover, and just maintain the 17-point lead. So it's going to be a conservative approach down the stretch for Kutztown because they really don't have to try to play it any other way with Shepherd's offense really not challenging them on the defensive side of the ball.
7:33 to go in this 3rd quarter. Still 17-0 Golden Bears. As you mentioned, Travis, Shepherd's offense not showing up in the second half. The defense has done its job to keep it at just a 17-point lead, but Shepherd has not had any offensive answers for the Kutztown defense. Here's a 1st down and 10. Novak
bringing the heat.
Steps up in the pocket. Cameraman lost the football, and then Novak ran out of bounds. So big run there.
So one of the few times that Novak has been able to beat that pressure and break contain. Did a good job of just feeling that pressure off the edge, stepping up in the pocket, and he had a running lane. So a lot of times, Shepherd, when they're blitzing that many, you're going to be playing man coverage on the back end, so that means it's going to be a lot of green grass for Novak to take advantage of between that gap between the defensive rush and then the coverage way downfield.
Burkhart remains the back here on a 1st down and 10 from the 45 of Kutztown. Third quarter, 17-0, Golden Bears. They'll run Burkhart off that left side. Gets out to about the 49-yard line. Bring up a 2nd down and about 6.
And not too often that Kutztown has tried to work that left side of the offensive line. They know they have the big size advantage on the right side of the ball, but again, they just use that running game to keep the defense honest. And now now that running game's role has switched here in the second half. Now they're doing it. Now they're working against the clock. That's one of the things. They want to keep the clock rolling, wear that defense down as this game progresses.
We'll call it 2nd and 7 here for Kutztown. Here's the ground game again. This time Shepherd stacks it up, possibly even will force a loss on the play. JT Comiao coming in, making the tackle, as well as, I believe that is Harold O'Neal, the first one there. Bring up a 3rd down.
And Comiao, 6 foot, 215 pounds, but very physical in that tackle box, does a good job of anchoring the point of attack. And coming into today's game, has 6 tackles for a loss. So he is a player that not only can stack things up at the line of scrimmage, but can also sneak back there in the backfield and wreak some havoc.
5:15 to go in this third quarter. 17-0 Kutztown. Novak looking to throw. Has time in the pocket, now rolling out. Looks downfield and incomplete. Just threw it away.
Again, it's just a twist up front. Comiao able to supply some pressure coming off of that right edge of the offense, forcing Novak to his offhand. And again, good coverage on the back end. That's allowing that pressure to get into the quarterback's face. And Novak, not having any open targets, does the smart thing, just throws it out of bounds. Again, no reason to really risk it or try to push it here in the second half until that Shepherd offense really hasn't shown much life so far today.
The Golden Bear Avalanche just showed up on the screen, if we have any Kutztown fans tuned in. But anyway, 17-0. There's the punt. And it's going to take a favorable roll for Shepherd. Kutztown trying to maybe argue that Shepherd hit it, but I don't think they did. So, flag on the play as well. Things just continue to be a punt showcase today between Shepherd and Kutztown. It's what really we've seen for the most part.
Yeah, both defenses have played pretty well so far today. Just curious to see what the call is going to be on this one.
Holding against Shepherd.
So again, Shepherd starting to feel that sense of urgency. You know you have a quality returner in Miles Greer, and sometimes players have a tendency to get those holding penalties, just trying to spring something, just trying to make a play for a teammate. We've heard Coach McCook talk about that in years past, where he doesn't look too critically of players. Like if they get penalized, trying to make a play for a teammate, and that's what it is. You see guys out there just trying to do something to help create an opportunity for their teammate to make a big play, and that's just something that you feel this team is lacking today. Just they need that big play to kind of try to get the ball rolling, but it just hasn't been there for them today.
First down here, 4:53 left in this third quarter. Shepherd getting a somewhat of a big play there. Jordan Barnett, one of the better runs of the day for the Rams. Bring up a 2nd down.
And again, plenty of time left. You don't have to completely abandon the run. You don't need to try to force the issue with the passing game. Get something going. Right now, you just need a drive. You just need that first score. So do whatever you have to, and more importantly, run that ball. Give your defense a chance to rest and try to wear that defense out, and that's going to help set up your play-action pass.
Give about 7 on that first down carry. They'll feed Barnett here again. Barnett lowers the shoulder. Great job, though, by that Kutztown defensive line. Mason Wilson coming up and making that tackle, as well as Freddie Redder, who we've already seen make some big plays in this one.
Yeah, just a big group up front for Kutztown. Mason, 6'2", 255. Redder, 6'3", 260. Kyrie Butler, 6'1", 300 pounds. And you got Jake Davis, 6'4", 265 pounds. So that's a pretty sizable defensive line that you're going to see here in the PSAC.
Here's a pass underneath, complete to Malachi Brown. He's shoved out of bounds and around the 26-yard line. We'll see. As Shepherd moves the chains there, first down Rams. So one of the few first downs, it feels like, in the second half, as it's been a slow third quarter for the Shepherd offense. 3:30 left in the third. Still down 17-0, but Shepherd has moved it a little bit here. Here's Jordan Barnett rumbling his way forward. Give him about 3 or 4 on that carry.
It looked like there was going to be a pretty big hole there, but it collapsed quickly. Barnett still able to shake off that first tackler and pick up some positive yards. But it's going to be something where Shepherd's going to need that running game to come up with something big. And again, they need that running game working because it's going to help set up that play-action pass.
Mikey Gray making that tackle for Kutztown. And now here's the running game again. This time, though, it's stacked up by the KU defense. This is a Kutztown team that's similar to Shepherd. They'll run a lot of different defensive guys in and out of the lineup. We have our 2 deep, obviously, here in front of us. And you'll see guys that are listed as backups on the field quite a bit. So it's similar to what Shepherd does on the defensive side in terms of that rotation. But Malachi Brown's run there stopped short of the first down sticks.
And more on what you were saying, how the backups come in and play a big role. You look in that secondary, their leading guys as far as interceptions are a couple of backups. You have Elijah Jacopuso at the cornerback position. You also have Drew Henser coming in to spell at that safety position. They both have 2 interceptions apiece. So this, not only are they using their depth, they're getting production out of that depth.
And Shepherd will punt here with Ryan Barrick. And Barrick sends a high kick. Will be fielded at the 25, 26-yard line with a fair catch from Thomas. And with 1:49 to go in this third quarter, we'll see this Kutztown offense again as neither team has scored in the quarter. It's still 17-0 Kutztown. Both teams have been given opportunities by their defense here in the second half, but again, neither team has executed off of those opportunities.
Again, the Shepherd defense called upon to make a big play to give their offense another opportunity to make something happen. You've been able to get 2 interceptions today and giving the ball back to the offense with a short porch. And again, you're just not able to put points on the board today.
A little bit of a, looks like maybe miscommunication or missed handoff situation between Stort and Novak, as on the read option. Didn't really seem like either guy wanted to let go of the football.
And Jaden Stewart did a good job. It looked like it was going to be a play for a loss, but he was able to do a good job of making something out of nothing, at least picking up a couple yards on first down and avoiding that dreaded 2nd and 10.
Just about a minute 15 left in this third quarter. Kutztown with the football. Trying to get something going here in this second half. Shepherd's bringing a blitz. Novak throws and complete. If he was able to get a foot in, kind of tough for us to tell on this camera angle. I think it was incomplete, though, and that will bring up a 3rd down and long for Kutztown.
And that was Minka on the coverage that time. Novak trying to throw that comeback to the far sideline and just led his wide receiver a bit too much on the outside again. Shepherd doing a good job coverage on the back end. And not only that, getting pressure up front, just really making Novak uncomfortable back there in the pocket.
3rd and about 8 for Kutztown as they have it on their own 27-yard line. A minute to go exactly now in this third quarter. Shepherd with just 1 lineman with his hand in the dirt. Everybody else standing here, and we're going to take a timeout, it looks like, for the Golden Bears. So 1 minute left here in this third quarter. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
This is Cody with Cody's Auto Body. The stories are on the way. Reliving glory days, the injury that prevented stardom, or the inevitable, I even could have made that play. With football season comes a lot of delusion of greatness. Well, no one believes you would have made it in the big leagues. Let's at least make them think you're a good driver. Bring that vehicle to me and I will make it the pride of the parking lot at every game. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body, the MVP of your season. That's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
We welcome you back here to Andre Reed Stadium if we were there, but just the studios in Martinsburg because that's where we're at. But 17-0 is our score. Kutztown leading Shepherd, trying to end the streak. All 5 games the away team has won in this series. It's going to take a big offensive fourth quarter for Shepherd to get back into it here. They're not really out of it, but to come back and win this one, it feels like. It's the 3rd down and 8 here for Kutztown. Pressure getting to Novak. He steps up, fires complete underneath, sheds off a tackler, and then Shepherd flies to the football, makes a great tackle in space. I believe that's Johnson there coming up and making that stop for the Rams before this 4th down.
And again, the defense, they're doing a good job. They're coming out to answer the bell. Again,
Will Ennis.
Yeah, that pressure, forcing Novak to step up in the pocket, take the check down, and then the defense is able to rally to the football and really limit that run after the catch. And again, the defense is doing what you need them to do today versus a very talented offensive unit. Shepherd just needs a little bit of help on the offensive side of the ball themselves.
Miles Greer will let the punt bounce, and it's going to take a favorable bounce for Kutztown and head out of bounds at around the 25-yard line.
And now you're seeing Kutztown, they're punting away from Greer, realizing that he is a threat to return that ball, just not wanting even to give him an opportunity to make a play, and just using that directional kick to limit those return opportunities.
Our 3rd quarter brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your Turtle Insurance Solution at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard. Call 304-263-3361, as well as Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road, and online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first. Parsons. 14 seconds to go here in the 3rd, and there's a big run for the Rams as they get it across the 30-yard line. Kutztown making the tackle there as it was Grant Swinehart in on that carry, and Drew Henzer making the tackle there for the Golden Bears. That will do it for the 3rd quarter. Still 17-0. Kutztown is our score. And we'll take a 1-minute break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
I'm John Doyle, and I'm running for the state Senate in the 16th Senatorial District. I stand strongly for your right to repair any product you purchase. Presently, manufacturers are permitted to retain as proprietary information that is necessary to repair that product. And I think that's wrong. I think you should be guaranteed that information so you can repair it yourself or take it to your friendly neighborhood repair person. I ask for your vote on November 5th. Authorized by Doyle for the Eastern Panhandle, Alan Stern, Treasurer.
We welcome you back here as the Rams have a big pass down the field. Been a while since we've seen that. Barry Hill hauls it in. Shepherd moves the ball to the 41-yard line as we begin this 4th quarter. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, Colin McLaughlin, our producer, and Lex Powell in the offense going quickly. Powell throws over the middle. Barry Hill in stride. Hill across midfield into Kutztown territory to the 44-yard line. Been a while since the Rams have moved it into KU territory down to the 44. And this high-powered, quick-moving, no-huddle offense looking good so far for Shepherd. Hill goes in motion from left to right. Swinehart is the back. Here's a wide receiver screen to Barry Hill. Kutztown trying to get to him. Good tackle in space again from Eden Johnson. Bring up a second down.
And again, you want to get the ball to your athletes in space and hopefully that they can make a play. And more importantly, to pick up some positive yards on first down. But I think Shepherd's really going to have to try to attack more vertically down the field.
Great play there from Lech Powell as he
was a nice touch
was already
pass.
Looking for Swinehart before he even got his head around. So the ball was there.
Yeah, that was a nice touch pass that time by Powell. Again, he shows flashes of just incredible plays, and that time that was just a difficult angle. Swinehart did a good job of bringing in that pass over his shoulder. Again, not too often you see a running back able to make that kind of catch.
Next throw over the middle, caught in stride for Shepherd's Cordell Batten. So Rams starting to get something going here offensively. 13:20 to go in this fourth quarter, still down 17-0, but Shepherd moving just outside the red zone now. Like Powell, quickly back on the ball. Malachi Brown is the back to his left. Jeremiah Taylor, is your wide receiver on the far side. They'll hand it to Malachi, and Malachi doesn't find too much room, gets down to about the 20-yard line.
So a couple of hard cuts that time by Malachi Brown to pick up some positive yards on that play. And an unusual set here that Shepherd has shown on this drive of having 4 wide receivers out there and a tight end. So basically it's a 5-wide look, but it gives you a little bit more physicality and a little bit more pass protection with the tight end out there attached to that offensive line.
They'll run Brown off the left side. Brown bounces off a tackle and is going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown Shepherd, but there is a flag on the play. So the Rams finally got into the end zone, but it looks like holding is going to bring it back.
Rams using that buck sweep action, having those 2 guards get on their horse and get out wide and try to block. But again, that is the risk that you run when you run outside, is that you're going to have a tendency to draw some of those holding penalties, and couldn't have come at a worse time for Shepherd. That was one of the few big plays that they've had today. And again, you have teammates that are trying to go the extra mile to make a play for another teammate, and sometimes that's just going to result in a penalty and a missed opportunity for that Shepherd offense.
So I'll back them up now. Second down and long for Shepherd. They fake the pass underneath, and then Powell realizes nobody's really open, throws it away, and does it enough, I guess you could say, in the area of Dorner, but I don't know. Pretty obvious throwaway there. Should be an intentional grounding, I feel like, here. He wasn't out of the pocket, but I guess the officials are saying it was close enough to Cam Dorner to be considered intended for him. Just 2 down linemen here for Kutztown. Powell looking deep down the field and incomplete. He wanted Dorner in double coverage. C.J. Brown was one of the 2 Golden Bears in the area.
And Shepherd's trying to tempt that Kutztown defense with the pump fake underneath. They've thrown a lot of underneath stuff earlier today, feeling that they have been able to set up that pump and go, but Kutztown not buying any of it. They're not biting on those double moves because they've done such a good job of limiting run after catch. It's something where they don't have to overreact to those plays underneath.
So 4th down. Shepherd needs a big play here. Powell pumps. Under pressure, and he's sacked. The ball came out, and Kutztown has it. Running with it is DeVos. DeVos high steps his way out of bounds.
He hit the triangle button on that one for no reason. Not sure what he was expecting. Like, who are you hurdling? Maybe he was worried about the turf monster. We have seen the turf monster wreak havoc so far this year.
Like Powell with some blindside pressure and a great play off the edge to sneak your hand in there and get a hand on that football. Difficult for me to tell exactly who that was, but
it looked like Redder, and
yeah, I think it was Redder.
Yeah, and it's tough because Swinehart had a good initial block. If that ball comes out on time, Swinehart had a really good block, but the fact that Powell had to bring it down and then try to get outside, that was just enough for Redder to get off of that block. You're not going to expect your running back to pick up a big, nasty defensive lineman and hold him in check for much longer than that.
Redder leads the team in sacks and tackles for a loss heading into the day, so we know he's talented. Here's Sincere Thomas off the edge. Thomas has blockers in front. Thomas still going, trying to get all the way into the end zone. He's going to be knocked out of bounds by Naeem Alexander around the 2-yard line. So that holding call, it also took away any field goal opportunities for Shepherd, which down 17, you may kick it in that situation instead of going for the touchdown. But where they were, they had to go for it. It was 4th and a mile anyway, and then you had the fumble setting up this Kutztown drive now. So tough situation here for the Rams, possibly going to go down 24-0 as they are on the doorstep as Kutztown of extending this lead. They'll hand it off. Burkhart has a hole. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Golden Bears.
And that's what he's out there for. He is their designated heavy hitter once you get down inside the 5-yard line. Again, he leads the team in touchdowns this year, and you see why. 5'11", 210 pounds. He's a load to handle, especially down that close to the goal line, running behind that big right side of the offensive line. Just a tough task for the defense today. That they played their butts off, but again, not getting a lot of help from the offense. And over the course of a game, you're going to get tired, and Kutztown's done a good job of wearing them down throughout today's contest.
Extra point from Dakota Campbell is up, and it is good. Kutztown 24, Shepherd nothing. 11:35 to go in this fourth quarter. We'll take a 1-minute break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
My roots run deep in Berkeley County. As a father, grandfather, and as your sheriff, it has never been more important to have a leader with the connections to properly address the issues that come with the rapid growth of this county. Whether it's working some of the largest profile cases in our area throughout my 35-year law enforcement career, coaching Little League Baseball, or leading our church security team, Mary Beth and I are determined to make Berkeley County safe for our children and your children.
Welcome back to Golden Nation Buffet. I'm Ryan Smetzer, and I'm so excited to show you guys the endless selection of sushi right here in our restaurant. Here at Golden Nation Buffet, they have got the finest selection of rolled sushi. Our chefs prepare with only the freshest ingredients to make sure that you have the best sushi experience imaginable. So come on over to Golden Asian Buffet and check out their finest selection of incredible and fresh sushi. We'll see you soon.
We welcome you back here. Kutztown now leads at 24-0 as the Golden Bears get in after the Lekpau fumble, a pickup from DeVos that took him into the red zone, and then Burkhart gets his way in for the touchdown to make it 24-0. Kutztown, our scoring drives are brought to you by John Doyle for the Eastern Panhandle. As on this kickoff return, Shepherd will take it about a yard deep and try to get something going offensively. And Stanfield's only going to get out to about the 20-yard line.
Kutztown special teams have certainly answered the call today, not allowing any type of big plays out of that dangerous Shepherd special teams unit.
Our fourth quarter brought to you by Smallwood & Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard. Call 304-263-3361. As well as the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers representing accident and injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com. So 24-0 Kutztown. Just 11:28 left in this fourth quarter. And Shepherd at least tries to put up some points here on the road, but Mike Powell under some pressure, throws underneath incomplete. Trying to set up a screen pass, it looked like.
And that was a smart play by Powell because you have those offensive linemen down the field. If he just throws that away out of bounds, you're going to get an eligible man downfield. So that's always the rule of thumb. If your screen pass is blown up, you just got to throw it at the running back's feet and live to fight another day. Again, a savvy play, but not what Shepherd needs at this point. They need some explosive plays. They want to try to chip away at this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So Powell takes the snap, looking deep. Complete to Cam Dorner, who's been quiet today. Good tackle there in space from Kutztown. That's Smith.
So Coleman and Smith have certainly done a good job of limiting those plays that the Shepherd wideouts have been able to make so far today.
1st and 10 now. Here's a big hole for Jordan Barnett, who runs a few guys over and gets across the 40-yard line out to about the 44. before he's brought down on the play. So Shepherd has established a little bit of a run game here late in the second half, but it may be too little too late. 10:40 to go. Powell back on the ball, throws quickly, complete underneath Barry Hill. The no huddle's been relatively effective for the Rams. The holding call really killed that last drive, and then Shepherd couldn't get anything really connecting after that big holding call. And then ended up having a fumble, which was returned to set up Kutztown. Here's another big hole for Barnett, down to about the 41-yard line.
You're seeing that Kutztown much more concerned with coverage and not allowing big plays over the top. Going to allow those run plays because it's helping them as well, because it's keeping that clock running.
Well, we got a timeout here for Kutztown, so they don't want to keep the clock running, Travis. We'll take a 1 or 30-second break here. It's 24-0 Golden Bears. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
Welcome you back here to Kutztown Shepherd at Kutztown University. Golden Bears 24, Rams nothing here on Senior Day for Kutztown. Heading into it, felt like maybe it was a little bit disrespectful to make the Rams your Senior Day, but not the case. It's going to be a happy Senior Day for Kutztown as they get a big sack in the backfield. Number 94 there coming off the edge and making the play from Braden Pullman.
The 6'3", 260-pound redshirt senior, like we mentioned. Kutztown does a good job of rotating in those guys up front. And Powell, at this point, you could see that the rush is really getting to him, that he's not keeping his eyes down the field, and just a tough day all around for that Shepherd offense.
They'll run the ball here on 3rd and long. A big hit coming in. Grant Swinehart took it. To be a big hit there.
That was Jalen Hill
Kutztown
coming up. Also, Redder was in on the mix.
Jalen Hill, though, with the shot on Swinehart. And now it's 4th down, and how far back Shepherd is, they're just going to punt it. About 9 minutes left here in this 4th quarter. 24-0 Kutztown. Here's the punt from Ryan Barrick. It's a good kick. It's going to bounce at the 15. And Shepherd gets to it. Will Ennis, I believe, got to it at the 1-yard line. And was able to chase it down in time. So give Ryan Barrick another excellent punt on his season. And we'll see more of this Kutztown offense, but there's only 8.5 minutes left. It's 24-0. They're just trying to run out this clock at this point. Especially being backed up on your own 1. Don't expect too many risky play calls here.
Again, a tough, gritty performance by that Shepherd defense so far today. Special teams unit has tried to make plays. They've done a good job of just trying to, shift the field position battle in favor of Shepherd. Just the offense is just kind of a power outage today going up against a very good, disciplined Golden Bears defense. And right now, Kutztown's offense going out, like you said, just a heavy dose of the run expected here to close out this 4th quarter and keep that clock rolling.
So here we go. Man in motion. They'll go under center here. Does Kutztown just trying to get a QB sneak with Novak to clear out a little bit of space. Groves comes up, makes the hit for the Rams after a gain of 2 or 3 on the play. Bring up a 2nd down.
And that's the 3rd time that we've seen Kutztown go to that offensive set where the quarterback makes that last-second adjustment where he comes up and gets under center. We've seen him hand off to the fullback. We've seen him do a play-action fake into a rollout pass. And that time, the more expected play out of that formation, a quarterback sneak just to give themselves a little bit of breathing room.
8 minutes left. Second down for KU. They'll run it again up the middle. This time a bigger hole out to about the 9-yard line. Goes Stort. Seen that running back duo between Stort and Burkhart throughout the day. Both of them have their different running styles, but both have had their fair share of success. But overall, even though 24 points on the board, I mean, Shepherd's defense has held up pretty well. And it feels like if, of course, the Kutztown defense didn't play as well as it did, Shepherd put themselves in some situations to possibly make this a closer or even find a way to win. But the Shepherd offense just didn't have it today. That's been the clear thing. But give credit to this Kutztown defense as the Rams are going to stop them, force another punt here. Minka there off the edge, making a big hit in the backfield, and now bring up 4th down.
That time, Kutztown tried to motion in their big tight end, Tyreek Husser, to give them a little bit of extra protection off the edge, and it was not enough protection off the edge as the Ram defenders did a good job of getting into the backfield and forcing a punt here on 4th down.
Give credit to Koma Yao as well on that play. 6:43 to go, though, in this one. 24-0 Kutztown. Good snap there on the punt, and Kutztown kicks it away. Shepherd will let it bounce and take over. It's going to roll pretty well here for Kutztown, and Shepherd will have it about the 46, their own 46. So 6:26 to go. Rams down 24. Running out of opportunities here in this 4th quarter.
This Rams offense staring down the possibility of a shutout. They're going to have to dig pretty deep into the record books to try to find the last time that this Shepherd offense got shut out. So right now, Shepherd playing for pride at this point, but just trying to get something positive going on the offensive side of the ball. And man, just Kutztown just flying to the ball. It's just 11 hats to the ball every time, and you try to go with the underneath stuff, and there's just no opportunity for yards after the catch.
Like Powell looking to throw here. Completes it underneath to Fisher. It's about the 48-yard line, so we'll bring up a 3rd down now for the Rams.
Only Fisher's 2nd catch of the season.
Yeah, don't use the tight ends nearly as much as Shepherd used to, but a lot of these guys more blocking tight ends. Powell looking to throw and fires to Cam Dorner. Kutztown saying it's incomplete, and the officials agree. So bring up a 4th down now.
And again, not having that threat at tight end really frees up the defense to put a lot of pressure on those wide receivers outside. So again, you need that mix. And Shepherd enjoyed a good stretch of having some very talented tight ends, but now seeing the offense kind of shifting away from that, using more of an H-back type, using them more as like you said, Nick, using them more as blockers.
Pass complete to Barry Hill. Coming up and making the tackle there for Kutztown was their Hill, Jalen Hill. And it is a 1st down, though, for Shepherd. So the Rams convert on a 4th down, I believe, for the first time today. And with 5 minutes left, Mike Powell will take the snap. Powell with time looking for the comeback route, and it's incomplete. Diving effort from Cam Dorner, but it falls incomplete. 4:52 left, 2nd down.
And again, that's just the counterpunch to what the coverage is showing. The coverage playing off, not wanting to give up any big plays over the top. So the counter to that is you want to have those comebacks to try to help them out. But that's a tough call with Powell on the opposite hash trying to throw that comeback to the far sideline and just ran out of gas there at the end.
That pass incomplete, intended for Cordell Batten. And off of his outstretched hands.
Also a flag on the play in the area of holding. Not that. Looked like it's going to be a chop block. Was that a legal hit below the waist? I'm not sure what the call was on that, but it looked like it's going to be against Kutztown and giving Shepherd some improved field position and a fresh set of downs. That's an unusual call to go against the defense.
Yeah, you don't see that too often, but it does help out the Rams and give them a chance to put some points here on the board at 24-0. Left Powell going play action under some heat. Rolling around and brought down in the backfield at the 35-yard line. But a tough day for Leck.
And again, just the pocket collapsed on him that time. This is something that Shepherd has used throughout the year just to try to get him a little bit more comfortable. But he has the pressure's gotten to him today. There's no other way around it. You go with the multiple wide receiver to one set. You go max protect to give him a little bit more protection, having him only read one half of the field, and you're hoping that a result of that is that he makes a quick decision. But again, great coverage on the back end by Kutztown, just making it difficult all around for the Shepherd offense.
Looks like an illegal formation or a false start against Shepherd to back him up here on second down. 24-0 Kutztown, fourth quarter, final 4 minutes of this one. Rams trying to avoid the shutout. Not something that happens very often for Shepherd football. Usually one of the best offenses in the PSAC. Kutztown has already had 2 shutouts, looking for their third of the year as a defense. So,
again, just a quick pass, try to get the ball out of Powell's hands and give him an opportunity to get some confidence going. But here this late in the game, and now you got third and a mile. Just a tough day for the Shepherd offense. That Golden Bears defense is as good as advertised.
Like Powell going to look deep down the field and intercepted in the end zone.
That was kind of a frustration play that time by Powell, just throwing it up, and there was nothing that the defense was showing him to make him make that decision. But again, just throwing the ball up, really not giving his opportunity to make a play on the ball, and that's more of a result of a day of frustration than it is Powell being fooled by the defense.
Drew Henzer comes up with his third interception of the season as he leads the Golden Bears. And another big play from this Kutztown defense, and with 3:24 left, that might be what all it takes to get another shut or get their third shutout of the season and hold Shepherd scoreless for the first time in over 10 years at least. Here's a run. Burkhart up the middle, not much room. Shepherd doing a good job of pushing him back. Bednarski up there and getting a stop.
Koma Yao and O'Neal also in the mix, as they often are.
Bring up a second down here and long for Kutztown.
And this defense, they force a couple of turnovers. They've been harassing the quarterback. They've kept Kutztown short of their usual offensive output. They've been averaging over 30 points per game. So it's like a lot of things you can see positive in a positive light for the Rams defense. They just needed some help from the offense. You're going to have to score points going up against a ball club of this caliber.
Here's the run for KU as they continue to try to milk this clock away at 24-0. Shepherd will fall to 5-3. The Rams return home for Senior Day. It's their final regular season home game next week against Bloomsburg. Then it's a trip to East Stroudsburg and a trip to Seton Hill, unless something were to go extremely insane and Shepherd were to somehow make the PSAC make the PSAC championship as the PSAC East Division champion. But doesn't look to be the case. It looks like Kutztown may have knocked out Shepherd for a playoff spot as well, with this already being the third loss of the season. They'll have to get some help with really no great quality wins either for the Rams this year. So, been a while since we've been talking about no playoffs in Shepherdstown, but maybe the reality this year and what will still probably be a solid season for Shepherd overall, but for this program, the expectations being what they are. A shutout, which Colin's going back to the 90s and hasn't found one, so as far as I'm concerned, never happened, right?
I mean, like I said, you're going to have to dig pretty deep down in the crates to find that in the record books.
Fortunately, we don't have it in our game notes or anything like that that provides anything really.
Also, the first time that the home team has won in this series.
That's true. That is something we do know. Here's a run out to about the 30-yard line.
And Greer doing his best to try to rip the ball away from the ball carrier.
1994, I believe.
Wow.
We found it. Shippensburg shut out Shepherd on September 3rd, 1994, 17-0. So it's been a long time.
Surprised you was able to find that on a digital source. You meant to dig down in the ground and find it on some papyrus the last time that Shepherd got shut out.
Well, if you click on those box scores on the Shepherd website, it's kind of cool. They have, when you go back, past really when digital was a big thing, they have like photos of the box score from the handwritten stats. So it's pretty cool stuff that they have on there, and they go back relatively pretty far on their website just by looking at the team schedule each year. So shout out Shepherd for that.
Shout out to Chip holding it down.
The fact that those things have been kept, though, especially for a D2 school where they thought to have these photos or have all these stats, I guess probably didn't take photos of them, but at the time probably keeping them in some sort of archive. It's pretty cool. I was trying to see, one time I think I was trying to see if Coach Hunter ever scored a touchdown at Shepherd or something. I was trying to find his best game at Division II, and I was going back to even try to find when he played there exactly. But just stuff like that, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool stuff. So, side note there, if you're a Shepherd football historian and want to take a look, they got it for you on their website. But we'll roll down to the 21-yard line, and that's where Shepherd will take back over to try to avoid that stat from becoming a reality.
And you certainly want to avoid the shutout. You want to see how your team competes down the stretch, even when the outcome is not going to be in your favor. But I'm not sure how much you want to try to risk it or force the situation, because as much as you want to try to put something on the board, really don't want to turn the ball over and give it back to Kutztown to close out the game.
You got to remember, too, now, Travis, this was a series that every game had been a one-score game until last year, which was a 23 win for Kutztown. So the last 8 quarters almost here that they've scored or played against Kutztown, the score's been 44-3, which is unheard of in this series early on. So a lot has changed, it appears, with the Rams and the direction of these two programs. Of course, as we hit the 2-minute timeout, we'll take a 1-minute break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
So what? So what? It's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard. We're going to have to work at it every day, but I want to do that because I want you. I want you and me forever, every day. What do you want? What do you want? Come on, what do you want?
What do you want?
I want Panhandle dumpsters for the first month free. Use the promo code to get the first month free.
We're back here after a quick pass to Taylor on the near side. And there's Jeremiah Taylor again. So Shepherd trying to get something going here in these final 2 minutes. Looks like there's a little bit of a glitch in the scoreboard clock. Now there it goes at 1:32, but it's like cutting off a little bit, so a little bit difficult to look at there. But anyway, Shepherd trying to get it going. Here's a pass underneath, complete to Cam Dorner, who goes down around midfield, about the 46, 47-yard line. Pass complete. Nice back shoulder throw there from Lech Powell. Lehman brings down Jeremiah Taylor, starting to get him going here late in this contest, but obviously it's 24-0 Kutztown. Shepherd trying to avoid their first shutout in 30 years. Here's a pass underneath to Malachi Brown, and Brown getting close to the first down sticks before he's out of bounds.
Brown on that play. More of his blocking was set up to the inside. But again, that pursuit from Kutztown did a good job of forcing him away from where he wanted to go. But still, a positive game for the Shepherd offense, and more importantly, able to stop the clock.
Powell looking to throw from the 45, fires complete to Barry Hill. Hill's had a nice game for what it's worth. I mean, offense has been very quiet, obviously, but Barry Hill's had some big catches. Like Powell's doing his thing late here, trying to get this team on the board.
Powell,
yeah, I like
using that passing lane.
But this one complete to Hill, but doesn't go very far. Kutztown flies to the football and makes the tackle. So, final 20 seconds. Kutztown trying to get its third shutout of the season. First ever against Shepherd. Shepherd trying to score to avoid the shutout and build some momentum heading into next week at home against Bloomsburg. And Bloomsburg, of course, knocked off the Rams last season. Here they're even, I think, burning a timeout to make sure that they don't get this shutout, it looks like almost. So we do have a timeout of, I want to say that's 5 seconds. Kind of hard to tell if it's a 5 or an 8 with how the scoreboard got messed up. So
I'd say it's 5.
Yeah, I believe so. Yep, 5 seconds as they're able to fix it now.
And again, at this point, Shepherd playing for pride, trying to avoid that shutout.
Yeah, run the field goal unit out there. I don't think they'll do that.
Right now, Taylor is down.
That's
Like
not
he's
good.
cramping up a little bit on that play. So, again, just a tough day all around for the Shepherd Ball Club. They knew they were going to have a tough test going on the road to face this Golden Bears Ball Club, and just not able to make enough plays to get into this game and make it competitive.
Third down here for the Rams. Third and about 8. Like Powell in the shotgun, 3 receivers set. Powell, whiff time, throws toward the back corner of the end zone. Might have been intercepted. It was, and that will do it for this one, as it's picked off by Hill. The senior safety on a happy senior day for Kutztown. They get the win, 24-0 over Shepherd. Like Powell just trying to float it toward the end zone into double coverage for Jeremiah Taylor, who didn't even really seem ready for the football, as he never really made a play on it, and that will do it. Kutztown remains undefeated at 8-0. Shepherd falls to 5-3. They're back in action next week at home against Bloomsburg. And also, for Kutztown, they've allowed 2 points in the last 3 games. A shutout over Lockhaven, a shutout here today against Shepherd, and just 2 points allowed last week to Shippensburg. So we will take a quick break here, 2-minute break, and then on the other side of that break, we'll have the post-game show. This is Shepherd Rams Football on TV 10.
I'm John Doyle, and I'm running for the state Senate in the 16th Senatorial District. I stand strongly for your right to repair any product you purchase. Presently, manufacturers are permitted to retain as proprietary information that is necessary to repair that product. And I think that's wrong. I think you should be guaranteed that information so you can repair it yourself or take it to your friendly neighborhood repair person. I ask for your vote on November 5th, authorized by Doyle for the Eastern Panhandle, Alan Stern, Treasurer.
The following is from an actual phone call.
Hello there. I'm a volunteer with End of Life Choices, and you knew a gentleman, Edward, who was coming out to use Oregon's Death with Dignity law. I actually worked with him, and he wanted me to reach out to you once he died to let you know that he did pass yesterday. So I did want to get that message to you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Let's not let this happen in West Virginia. Vote to permanently ban medically assisted suicide. Vote for Amendment 1.
My roots run deep in Berkeley County. As a father, grandfather, and as your sheriff, it has never been more important to have a leader with the connections to properly address the issues that come with the rapid growth of this county. Whether it's working some of the largest profile cases in our area throughout my 35-year law enforcement career, coaching Little League Baseball, or leading our church security team, Mary Beth and I are determined to make Berkeley County safe for our children and your children.
It's the post-game show as we recap the scoring, bring you stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV10 broadcast team.
We welcome you back here to the post-game show, which is brought to you by the Palace Lounge, located on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. Check out their menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, here for the post-game show. Kyle McLaughlin, our producer. Let's roll through some post-game stats, and we'll get some thoughts from Travis as well here, but our post-game stats are brought to you by RAI Properties, servicing the tri-state area. Call 304-200-3144 or visit www.raiproperties.com. For Shepherd, Mike Powell threw the ball 52 times today for just 234 yards. He completed 36 passes, 4 interceptions for the second time this season. In a loss on the road, he was sacked 5 times. Ryan Barrick, the punter, did complete his only pass for 2 yards on a trick play from Shepherd that didn't result in a first down. But for the Rams, in terms of the receiving today, Barry Hill, 15 catches, 108 yards. Jeremiah Taylor, 4 catches, 39 yards. Cam Dorner, 5 catches, 28 yards. Malachi Brown, 6 catches for 26 yards. Those were the leaders in receptions. For the rushing attack, Shepherd totaled just 20 net yards on the day due to the minus 42 on the 5 times that Powell was sacked. But in terms of the individual runners, Jordan Barnett runs it 5 times for 40 yards. Swinehart, 4 for 9. Brown, 9 for 8. And, of course, you had the Lek Powell fumble defensively for Shepherd. The Rams were led in tackles by Miles Greer, Harold O'Neal, and J.T. Komayau with 7 for Greer, 6 for the other 2. And then they were able to get 1 sack on the day from Harold O'Neal and 2 interceptions from Dante Harrison and Miles Greer. In terms of the Kutztown offense today, and again, Shepherd shut out for the first time since 1994. But Judd Novak didn't have the best day, but didn't really need it. 7 of 18. Just 77 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. You would have thought Shepherd won the game.
If you're able to hold a quarterback of that caliber to those type of numbers, you're going to feel favorable about your matchup, but just not enough offensively for Shepherd to get it done today.
Yeah, didn't really need to have a big passing day. Priscilla hauled in 4 catches for 29 yards. Didn't hear Ravenel's name, only heard Gibson's name once. 1 catch for 20 yards. Again, it didn't matter. Stewart, 10 carries, 53 yards. This wasn't a crazy offensive day from Kutztown. 10 carries, 40 yards for Novak. 10 carries, 36 yards for Burkhardt, including the touchdown. Thomas had that 118-yard run as well. That's it. That's the total offense for the Golden Bears today. Defensively, though, that's where they made their presence felt, I guess I should say. As Brown led the team in tackles with 7, DeVos with 7 as well. And in total today, 7 tackles for a loss for Kutztown defensively, including 3.5, 5 sacks, as we mentioned earlier. So they got in that backfield, and then 4 interceptions, 1 from Coleman, 1 from Hill, 1 from Hesner, and then 1 there at the end on the, 1 on the pick 6 as well. Team stats here real quick. Shepherd had more first downs than Kutztown today. 16 first downs to 11 for Kutztown. Running the ball, though, just for 20 yards. It's 0.8 yards a carry on their 25 attempts. And total yards, Shepherd had more total yards, but a lot of that kind of pounded in at the end. And then, of course, the 4 turnovers can be tough to win that game. Shepherd had more time of possession. Here's another interesting stat. The 2 teams were combined 5 of 29 on third down. Oof. Shepherd was 3 of 17. Kutztown 2 of 12. So a weird game, because a lot of these numbers tell you this was like a 3-0 game, but it wasn't because of the defense of Kutztown forcing some turnovers and putting the Kutztown offense in a lot of good positions here today, Travis.
Absolutely, and again, the numbers that when you broke up like the running game, how Kutztown was able to lean on it, we were expecting kind of the opposite. We were expecting them to have more of an attack that was based around the passing game, considering that you have a very good quarterback in Novak. But again, credit to that Shepherd defense. They were able to answer the bell for most of the game today, not allowing a lot of yards in that passing game, really putting pressure on the quarterback and making him take those checkdowns or pull the ball down and run the ball himself. And Kutztown just trying to go with the flow, did establish that running game, especially as the game was wearing on, realizing that they had a comfortable lead, not really needing to risk it, especially after throwing the 2 interceptions. You could see they kind of called off the dogs a little bit as far as trying to pass it and went ahead and embraced running that football. And again, just that Kutztown defense, they were playing lights out football today. And to me, that's kind of the story of the game, is just Kutztown's defense was just able to go out there and impose their will. And I'll go back and look at my keys to the game, and that was something that I felt Kutztown was going to need to be able to do. They need that defense to bully Shepherd on offense, and that was something that they were able to do.
Let's get some of your awards, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Our electrifying play of the game is brought to you by CMA's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg. Stop in and see them today at 48 Kelly Island Road, or call 304-263-8821. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
All right, so my play of the game is going to go to Kutztown's Brandon Strausser. Was able to get the pass breakup and get the pick 6 early on in the game, and that really kind of set the tone for how the game was going to shape up today. A quick pass from Powell, and Strausser just did the heads-up play, but just getting his hands up quickly, batting it up in the air, and then after that he was able to collect his own batted pass and take it in for a pick 6. So that is my play of the game, Brandon Strausser's pick 6 early on in today's game.
Your collision of the game, which is brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page.
My collision of the game is going to go to G.O.D. Tolbert. He had a big hit there in the first quarter. I was tempted to give it to the combo tackle later on in the game by Kutztown between, I believe it was Brown and Redder, but G.O.D. Tolbert coming over, a hard hit over the middle. I'm giving him collision of the game because it's not too often this season that a Shepherd defender has been able to lower the boom and not get ejected from the game. So it's baby steps, folks. G.O.D. Tolbert, big hit, not getting ejected from the game. And again, just a collision of the game is going to go to G.O.D. Tolbert.
Finally, player of the game brought to you by CMA's Martinsburg and Winchester dealerships, proud to be the owners who just care more.
And player of the game, there's no one guy I can give it to. I got to give it to that whole Kutztown defense. They played absolutely lights out. 4 interceptions, 7 tackles for loss, 5 sacks. Just shut Shepherd's water off to this entire afternoon. So no one guy that you can point to without having to bring up 3 or 4 other guys' names. So, again, player of the game is going to go to that Kutztown defense, Golden Bears defense, again, playing lights-out football to secure the victory today.
All right, Kutztown advances to 8-0 on the season. Shepherd falls to 5-3. Again, they're back at home next week. Final home game of the regular season and the way things are looking most likely of the season. So make sure to come out, support the Rams as they take on Bloomsburg for Senior Day. But for Colin McLaughlin, our producer, Travis Smith, that will do it here for us. I'm Nick Verzolini saying so long here from the studio. And Shepherd will be back in action next Saturday at noon kickoff, 11:30 a.m. pregame show. So make sure to join us next week. This is Shepherd Rams Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
You've been watching coverage of NCAA Division II football featuring the Shepherd Rams in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's coverage is brought to you by
Orsini's Home Store, Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Cody's Auto Body, The Palace Lounge, CMA Honda, the Berkeley County Health Department, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations, Hagerstown Ford, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, W. Harley Miller Systems, Smallwood and Small Insurance Agency, CMA Chrysler Dodge, WVU East, the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, RAI Properties, Parsons Ford, Rocks, John Hardy, Gary Kelly Allstate, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
TV 10 Sports thanks you for watching today's game. All rights reserved.